Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I wish my refund hurry up so I can have a taxitude.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I'ma be like, let me get 20 on pump 3.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Matter of fact, make it 25, and yes, I would like to donate to the March of Dimes, so ring me up that Coke and candy bar 2 for $2.22 deal where $1 goes to March 2. Oh, and ring these Skittles up for my kid too. And when the cashier tells me to have a nice day, I'm gonna be like, no ma'am, you have a blessed day, sugar.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Pull down my shades like Kim Kardashian, smile like Gabrielle Union.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Flip my bundles like Nicki Minaj and queen out the door like Beyonce.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Goofy face, goofy face, goofy face, heart, 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 muscle, muscle, muscle.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Sassy black girl, sassy black girl, sassy black girl, kiss, kiss, kiss. Hashtag so what, hashtag I ain't shame, hashtag my money, hashtag call me taxitude honey.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Welcome to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
How you doing?
Yeah, as you can tell, my voice is different. It is.
Yeah, Daniel's struggling today.
Well, I'm a little better today than I was. God, Tuesday was bad.
Yeah.
Tuesday was real bad. Wednesday, not so bad.
But we work through it every day. No time off. That's what counts.
Brendan O'Connor will be here. He is on his way momentarily. I don't know, for any of you that were watching the stream ahead of time, we have an amazing Godzilla Pro Model pinball machine by Stern.
Yes.
The thing is freaking amazing, dude.
It's our new fish tank. We got a pinball machine from a brand new sponsor of ours, thepinballdudes.net.
I gotta fix that. We got a little problem. Always little things to go to. But here, I'll go to the lobby cam so people can see. Look at that thing.
So Andrew,
look at that thing
from the Pinball Dudes came by yesterday.
Yeah.
And he's been a listener. He's listened to you since Drew and been listening for us for 20 years.
This was a surprise. Like, I don't even think this was supposed to happen. I didn't know anything about this. I had actually left. I was at my shrink. And then I got out of my shrink, which again, I should have just canceled. I can't, everything I go to do, you use your voice. So I'm just like, I should have just canceled. I should cancel everything. But then you started sending me photos. I started freaking out because the thing is, it's humongous.
Yeah, no, it's a full-size pinball machine.
But they have different versions, and this is one of the bigger ones.
Yeah. And apparently there's this huge market for people, and the way he explained it to me, because people think like, pinball machines, people are still into them. I'm like, yes, because there's a lot of dudes that build like man caves or bars in their house.
I don't like the term man cave.
I know, but
I don't like that term.
Or areas that they chill in, that they maybe have a little wet bar.
What happened to the office? Why can't a man just have an office?
Because you just need a laptop and your phone. You don't need a goddamn giant desk.
But it's when you had a study. A man had a study or a library.
But these pinball machines are kind of like furniture mixed with art, like that you could play also. But when you see see them, and then when we have one in our lobby, it's like these guys are big time.
It does make you feel big time.
And it's weird because it's like a fancy fun.
It's a status symbol for 100%. It's a status symbol.
But also it like represents like I like fun. Look at this.
Yeah,
And it is almost like a retro piece of art.
I mean, I'm like not to jump right into this, but normally you end up fucking a girl on the top of it, right? I mean, that's what you do.
We're gonna have Andrew in next week to talk.
Oh, I thought you were gonna have Andrea in, and I was like, okay, I volunteer.
Here's a cell phone number: 321-591-1062.
Oh, it should have been balls, right?
And just text him. He knows everything about pinball. He delivers them, buys, sells, he rents them to places.
Oh, this is great. Like this one
every 3 months.
And when you get to the end of this one, it's Godzilla, and you're like, you are Godzilla, I guess, and you're trying to destroy the city. So the more you do well, like I guess your first checkpoint would be a bridge you destroy, and then you fight the aliens and all this stuff. When you get to the end, baby Godzilla comes out, and he poofs 2 little toots of smoke at you. Oh, it's so adorable.
I looked up from my computer this morning, and I saw Daniel drinking tea with a stereotypical tea bag all over the side.
Look, I got my throat coat tea
and playing pinball.
I played pinball, drinking my tea,
like a true old man. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm older than anybody. Yeah, I was drinking throat coat herbal tea, echinacea lemon, while I was playing Godzilla pinball.
So
oldest thing I've ever done.
I know Brendan is on his way, but I'll tell you a story that happened to me on Wednesday.
You've been holding a few. Yeah, tell me.
So, and I told you a little bit about this earlier on ACT this week, and I'm not sure if it was actually ACT or a Twitch pre-show. It all runs together.
It all runs together, especially a week like this when I'm not feeling so hot. It kind of makes me feel like, it's all the same. Just who cares?
So Tommy had, and Max too, the school put on their Winter Wonderland event.
Nice.
I was telling you about.
Yeah, you love getting all dolled up to head out for a Winter Wonderland. You love it.
Well, it's basically like trunk or treat, and it's like, but winter trunk or treat.
Yeah.
And so, and we've talked about the evolution of dads in the past.
Yeah.
And so there used to be, if you go far enough back, it was just.
Are there AI dads now?
Not yet, but there will be. And they'll care way more.
They'll be great. They'll be fantastic.
But the first dads, they just get the female species pregnant and then take off running, and then the mom just takes care of the babies, then that's it, right?
Sure.
And then over time, I'm sure, like evolution and society, and then you started letting the lady stay in your den. And then you're like, you could give birth here, but then get the hell out, or whatever.
I'm going to play my pinball machine. Get the hell out of here.
And then eventually it got to the 50s, and then it's like the dad would just make money, and they like, I'll put food on the table, and then every once in a while when I'm home from my business trip, I'll play catch with you in the front yard.
You're like a digital provider.
Sure. And then you may play some catch, and then it's like, you get up to our dads where it's like you did a lot more. And Brendan, I'm curious with how Brendan probably fits into the 1980s.
For a split second, I thought you called him Brenda.
No.
To do that,
it's too close.
He did.
No, but I thought did you hear that? Yeah, he did call you Brenda.
I
heard Brenda.
What are my pronouns?
Yeah, I heard Brenda.
I said Brendan.
Dude, you can't do that to a person out of uniform. You can't do that.
No, I mean,
that's like the reverse stolen valor. You cannot. If a drag queen is out of queen,
call me whatever you want.
Okay.
Well, it should be Lisa if you want to be too close to Brendan.
I could be Elisa for you.
No. So we were talking, Brendan, about the evolution of dads.
You look nice today.
It's a new uniform I'm trying.
Okay, I like this. Tom has a uniform too, so you both have uniforms.
Yeah.
Tom wears a gray polo and jeans every day.
Well, yours looks more comfortable. It's a sweatsuit.
Well, it's because I didn't fuck it up.
That's not a sweatsuit.
It is kind of. It's like the ninja pants.
Yeah. I want ninja pants.
Ninja pants too. Anyway, can I show people your pants?
Yeah.
So
look at his ninja pants. Look at this.
Look at that crotch.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at that. Look at that ding dong. Holy shit! You got
your bowl.
Big giant Canadian bowl.
He's a Canadian real man.
He's tough as shit. Finally, we got a tough guy in here. God damn, I got tired. No, it's just the two of us in here.
And only
a couple of
measuring each other's dicks all day.
Yeah. And the biggest real man will suck another real man's dick.
Yeah.
Did you
know that?
Did you see that? Was that on a Spartan?
No, I'm just
team with Spartans on
No,
it.
but that is we said this like joke number 1 of our show was the most manly thing you can do is to suck a gigantic dick.
Tell your pop-up that he'll get all.
Seriously, we have
a
songs
pussy
about it.
You know
Trixie
Trixie and Katya, the drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race. They're so funny. That's a rabbit hole to go down. One of them asked the other one, "What's the straightest thing you ever did?" And the other person said, "I killed a guy once."
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty straight.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the evolution of dads. We evolved for where dads didn't do anything, just took off running, and then our dads would they would do.
God, you picked a great topic too because Brendan has an amazing dad.
You know,
But a little absentee too.
Yeah, but you know, it was the 80s, right?
Yeah,
you know, it's like we all grew up with it. It's like, and they did more than their dads.
Yeah.
And
he was kind of wild, right? Like,
Yeah, he was always in the bush because he's an archaeologist, so he was always digging holes somewhere.
Yeah.
And then fast
I know
forward.
what that means.
Fast forward to
Vagina.
2024, and I'm sitting at a stranger kid's birthday party, eating a cheese pizza and grapes on a paper plate, and I'm looking at other dads, and
And you're like, why am I here?
People I don't even know. My wife dragged me to a other stranger's birthday party.
I hate that. Why do straight people do that?
Because we're guilted into it. Because
hanging out with
our
other
wives
people.
are like, don't you want to participate in the family?
But it makes you a better person because I'll just put my foot down and say,
no.
yeah.
No, you're smart because the kids don't even care. They're running around.
Well, that is true. Maisie doesn't care if I come or not.
No, that's not what
But
we're doing.
I
then.
do. Andrea will be like, there's a birthday party. And like now we've gotten to the point where Andrea will just be like, there's a birthday party. You can come if you want, because she knows that I'm just
You
going to
don't
be
wanna be
like, I don't want to go to that.
I don't invite Scotty to things like that. I don't even invite him to things like that.
Well, you're a real man.
I know. I am Scotty.
Yeah. It's better to just let y'all. I don't ever want to force him into
He's a little
situation.
grumpy, right? And he's like, fuck this shit.
And he thinks he doesn't show it on his face.
Oh,
he
I
thinks if
show
he's
it
really
so
quiet
hard.
in the corner, like nobody knows that he doesn't want to be there. We know you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, just
Andrea's
go
in the
home.
chat room. She says, Daniel does not go to birthday parties.
Yeah.
I hate birthday parties, but I know Daniel hates it more. Yeah, I do.
Well,
hate
that's
it
what
more.
Crystal says. She's like, you're going to make me go to this by myself. You have to come with me. Oh, God.
That's kind of nice.
Anyway, so
Ride or die.
It's
I think it makes them a better marriage. Huh?
You think so?
it
I do.
doesn't.
I do.
Does it?
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to be there, and then he gets mad about it.
Mine is falling apart. I mean, yeah,
not true.
I'll talk to you later.
Well, stop sleeping with me.
Yeah.
So-
well, it's so damn good.
Back to Winter Wonderland. So there's this, Brendan, there's this event called Winter Wonderland that my kid's school put on. It's kind of like
Sounds great.
Trunk or treat.
Oh wow, what
It's
a creative name, Winter Wonderland. That's great.
No,
who came up with that?
I mean,
Some
kudos to them but the
Some
kids.
fag math teacher.
Yeah, I bet you put the number 1 in your ass.
It's great for the kids, and I'm glad
I
they
just
doing
made
it.
that up.
I thought it was good.
But
Better
Crystal,
than pie.
I don't want to.
I don't like pie.
It's also that cold front came in Wednesday, so it's cold as shit outside, and this is an outdoor event.
Dude, it's a fucking Winter Wonderland.
Oh, is this the long story you warned me about?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So
I can sit patiently.
So then, of course, I didn't want to go like Daniel, but Chris was like, "It's Tommy's last Winter Wonderland."
That's a nothing. That's a fucking nothing.
And then she guilts me, and she's like, "Don't you want to see Tommy's last Winter Wonderland? He's leaving elementary school, he's becoming a middle school."
That's not a thing.
Well, I was telling you
Everything. No, when I was a
guilts me into
kid,
it.
when I was a kid, everything until high school was just elementary.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there was high school. There's no such thing as graduating from.
Middle school.
No, it's not a thing.
I think it's a thing here because it's the middle school. How many kids are going to that middle school? Like,
The new middle school?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the name of it is. I don't know.
We don't know. I know nothing about
That's that's still that's an homage
I feel like
to
I
my
should be
dad.
writing shit down that you're
No.
proof that he's a bad dad.
I'm gonna
I just know these things.
I'm gonna blow your Applejack hat for a second. You ready?
Uh-huh.
If I went over to my daughter's
If I had a
school,
quarter.
I wouldn't know how to sign her out.
You wouldn't?
I don't even know if I'm on the list.
What?
Yeah, Andrew did.
You're on the
She's
list.
like, I know better.
Yeah.
So that
Well,
pretty
also,
awesome.
Andrea's so consistent. Like, when would I ever be needed? Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
She's got it covered.
Yeah, 100%.
You lucked out.
I am Michael Penix.
Is she mad about that?
So,
You'll have to
yeah,
ask
she's
her.
super
Yeah,
bad.
I think
she holds it
Well,
inside. Though.
I mean, didn't I just tell you my marriage is falling
It's
apart?
fine.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
anyway,
Because you can't be relied on.
So,
Wow, when could I?
I go to the Winter Wonderland, and
Are you
it's-
showing it on your face?
No.
What are you wearing?
It's called. Well,
That's a great question.
Thanks. I need to picture it.
I'm wearing what every dad in Florida
Chinos.
wears when it gets cold. He dresses like Eminem, just a jeans and a hoodie, and some tennis shoes. You know, like
Was it Tom and Dan merch? Like the hoodie? Was it?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's all I have.
I literally only wear Tom and Dan t-shirts. That's all I wear.
And but I'm freezing my balls off. Like
it's cold. It was cold.
Yeah.
I've lost all my warming fat, so now I'm like a skinny.
Humble brag.
Boom.
It's not a humble brag.
I lost all
I'm mad
my-
about it.
I saw your Halloween costume. I know you
Yeah.
lost your fat.
Dude don't have no
Yeah.
warming fat.
But now
But he's got some pumping muscle, I'll tell you that.
Now I'm like an old man in a hospital, just shivering all the time. I'm standing, I'm like fucking got my hands in my pockets, and I'm like,
Yeah.
And then so the kids are running around. They don't even notice I'm there. So then I'm like, why the fuck am I here? And then Chris is like, look at them, look at them play around. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right. So I do my 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm walking
Wait,
around.
is
all
that
right.
what parents do at these things? You just get together and you just watch the kids have fun, and you're like, I
You know what I
remember
do?
when we used to have
No,
fun.
I don't even do that. As I'm walking over, I get super high, and then I try to kill myself in my own brain.
Oh, you're like, I could climb that tree and
No,
fall out of my
I
head.
try to use my own mental powers
To kill yourself?
myself. Yeah.
Like a cancel button?
Yeah.
So
I don't like that.
So I'm standing around. I put in 20 minutes, which I feel like
That's
is
a
a
lot.
good
That's a
enough
lot.
time,
Are
right?
you sure it was
Yeah.
20?
I'm watching them, and then so but
it
I'm
was definitely 5 minutes.
I'm
what I was
freezing. Right? So I tell Crystal, I'm like, I'm gonna go sit in the car, right? Because it's cold as shit out here. I'm just gonna turn the car's heat and sit in the car, and then
I'm
look
gonna
at
go
my
watch my iPad in the car.
look at my fantasy football team, and then Crystal's
She
like,
thinks you're on porn.
are you sure you
or
don't want?
sniffies.
I don't want to look around and
I like
watch
sniffers.
it. And I'm like, I want to sit in the car, tell the boys, they don't give a shit. And then so I'm like, all right, go back to the car. So I go back to the car. I'm sitting there in the passenger seat, and I'm like, oh, I remember.
Did you all come in the same car?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's another mandatory thing we can't do. We all come together in the car, family ride.
I'm so miserable that I think I'm ordered to drive myself. You know, they're like, drive yourself, misery man.
So you can leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can get my complaints out of there.
Yeah. Yes.
So I remembered, I was like, oh, yeah, I have a text from a rich business associate of mine where he texted me some videos he wanted me to watch of his birthday party.
Of his
and,
dick.
And here's the, we're going on a little side tangent. I realized
When
that,
rich people send you dick pics, you got to open them.
Brendan, do you
I
have
would.
any rich friends that
Yeah.
you stay? Okay.
Yeah.
They live interesting lives, right?
Yeah, but they're like so bored. They like have to hang out with poor people like me to like
Yes.
to gauge how shitty their lives are still.
But they,
What?
You know, like they need that like it's like a reality vibe check, like a vibe check.
it's called Titanic. You hang out
mean,
with the poors
isn't it called-
to see how they live.
Yeah.
Dinner for schmucks.
Yeah, dinner for schmucks. I get.
Right? You
Okay.
invite the poor or
Yeah.
the dumb person to, and then you make them.
John's got a couple of really rich friends that'll like loan them their like super expensive cars they know we can't buy. you
Oh,
know,
I don't
and,
get
like,
that.
Yeah,
Well,
That's
Yeah.
cool.
all I'm saying
get a
is
Beamer for like 3 months.
rich
Nice.
people have more interesting lives that I've noticed, because I have like 4 or 5 rich people that I either from listeners from the show or from like business associates that I keep in contact with, and
I
the
bet you
shit
do.
that they tell me some wild ass shit like
Yeah.
all the time. Like all my other friends are poor blue collar. They're like, I'm going on a cruise to Nassau, Bahamas for my
Yeah.
10-year anniversary. I'm like, boring.
Yeah, the one that I get.
Well, what's your rich friend doing?
The one that I get all the time is I went deep sea fishing with some friends, and I'm like, that's miserable. That's like, that looks like
I've seen that porn.
yeah, that just looks like
Yeah, yeah.
shit.
I've received texts from a rich listener telling me, they're like, look at this picture, and it's them shooting Bud Light with Rudy Giuliani's cousin. That's right.
And you're envious of it.
And I'm like, what? Yeah. And it's like, "Look, we're shooting Bud Light in my backyard with Rudy Giuliani's cousin. I'm like, what the fuck?
Or I'm going to tread lightly. I got one from someone who was backstage at like Hamilton with Trump's attorney.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting shit. Like, I
Yeah.
remember Brett Bushy did quail hunting with Jerry Jones
Yes,
off
I
his
remember
golf
that
cart. And I'm like, he's like,
Yeah,
yeah, we
I
were
remember that
shooting quail. Like, his servants were releasing them. We were shooting them out of the back of a golf cart.
I went to a place in upstate Rhode Island, and it's for rich people to fly in from New York on helicopters and shoot quail, and they just keep thousands of quail captive, and then they'll just release them for these rich people. And the birds don't go anywhere. They do it with turkey too, and it was crazy. It was, and they're all riding around on golf carts shooting at things.
You know the best part though?
That's interesting.
They fly in and shoot things.
The best part is they release them, and then some of them will go and land in like the bushes. So they have to have a man that runs over to the bushes and whacks the bushes with a stick to get them to fly up so they can blow their brains
they chase
out.
them around all over the campus. And then there's like lynx and stuff just waiting to get the stragglers. And
all I'm saying is I keep
they're all high on things.
Everything.
They text me every once in a while, just super interesting
Why
shit.
have you always been a lightning rod for
rich people bragging about the cool things they're doing?
This dude has always had stories connected to like wacky millionaires.
I figured it out.
In fact, you have a new one that's kind of colluding with Ross, the wacky comedy millionaire.
Yeah,
Crazy Boot.
Deland, Crazy Boot millionaire.
Yeah, Crazy. I think we know a lot of weirdo millionaires.
You know, it's a
lot.
Well, because you get to a point, what are they doing all day? You know, like they're just listening to podcasts. I'm sure there's a point where they're just like sitting around on their Scrooge McDuck millions.
Oh,
and
man.
Kings
floating around.
What a life.
Kings like jesters. You know, they're like,
that's true.
Drink
Kings
this
like
wine,
jesters.
you fool.
That's
You know,
true.
like,
Yeah.
they like
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
And so, and I like the interesting.
And you're on
text.
call.
Yeah. And
You're better than TV because like, I can just text this famous radio host.
I
See
got
what he's doing.
I got a text from Dice Man of a selfie of him flying in a helicopter with Pitbull.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Was that when he dropped this on us? He's like, hey, that's my new neighbor. And then we're like, oh, okay. You just bought a house next to Pitbull. All right.
Why don't you bring Pitbull into the show?
Yeah, that would be cool.
So no, I digress, but I remember I had this.
Back to this awesome winter wonderland.
This rich business associate of mine's text of a videos that he sent me of his 50th birthday party. Right.
Okay.
And so, and let's call him Bill because I don't want to release his real name. So Bill sent me these
Bill
texts.
McMillions.
He's like, check out my 50th birthday party. Right. So,
Okay.
And now, but I'm sitting in the car with it on my wife's Traverse. And at Winter Wonderland in the kids' parking lot, and I'm watching this video, right? So it's dark as hell. It's me, and the light. You can see the light on my face, right? And so I'm watching this video.
Came from within.
And the elaborate birthday party that this guy
What's
threw.
he doing?
It is like
And he's just pooping in the middle of it.
it's like a Grecian, Persian, you know, like 300, the guy with all the earrings.
Yeah.
Xerxes.
Xerxes.
Yeah,
It's like a
More like jerksies.
there are drapery. I'm like, where the fuck
wow.
is this at? Like, it's a king's feast. Like, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
A fucking
Yeah.
king's
Like
feast.
fruit.
I've always wanted a king's
Cornucopias.
feast. Yeah.
There are goddamn
Well,
pyramids of fruit.
hold on. Well, I know where this is going. There's
yeah,
got to
yeah.
be some
Hey,
I was going to say slave
hey,
women, but that's not nice.
yeah. So
but
there-
like, yeah,
They
there's
were
gotta be some-
volunteers.
there's got to be some slave women.
Everybody's dressed. It's like
They wanted to be
like
there.
Greek people.
I love that. And
like
togas.
Persians and togas. Yeah, it's this huge thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm fascinated by this. Right? It was like, I mean, this party must have cost $50,000.
Have you had
Easy.
a toga? Have you gone to a toga party?
In college? Some of them frat boys, Brads and Chads.
When the
boners.
pandemic, what was it? 22, 20? I can't remember. It's
Yeah, I
all
think it was
blurred.
20.
There was, for some reason, just this random volcano in Lock Haven Park, and my birthday came around, and we all had an outdoor toga party at the volcano. It was like a Pompeii thing,
Uh-huh.
and it was so fucking fun. I can't stop thinking about doing it at Volcano Bay. Like a toga party, like
Oh,
a Pompeii flavored toga party. Is that dumb?
No, they
Is that
probably
too soon?
won't
Brendan,
let
look,
you do it there.
But if it's a rental,
You don't really have dumb ideas. I mean, I would say some of
nice
them
of
are
you.
wacky, some are unattainable. But
Are they more absurd?
I don't think. They're
Would you go to
dumb.
that?
I would.
right?
I would just like your Dungeons and Dragons.
That's happening.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I love all your dumb ideas. Well, they're not.
We're
dumb,
gonna play
they're
Dungeons
wacky.
and Dragons on Twitch, and all the people are gonna watch.
Yeah,
I don't
and
like-
I'm gonna do voices if my voice heals.
Content.
Jesus.
Dress-up parties are not really my thing. The most
This isn't. You don't have to
That's not
dress up.
true.
toga party.
Can I
you have
ask
to
you
wear a
about your-
toga.
Oh, I was talking Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry.
Halloween.
You look
What?
great.
You looked great.
You look great.
We saw your nipples.
We did.
It was very sexual.
Saw your abs. Saw your muscles.
Whose idea was that? Don't blame it on your wife. Did you want to wear that? Have you worn that before? Like
No,
it fit really well. Like,
no,
it looked like that maybe has been in rotation.
No, I went to Fairville and bought all that.
Okay.
But I will say that I think he had. This is just my take.
Yeah.
I think it does embarrass him.
Oh, okay.
But I think there's nothing to be
Yeah, he's
embarrassed
hurting
about
himself.
because he looks awesome.
He
right?
just started scratching his
Yeah,
leg
because he's like he's
to
doing
feel
it again.
alive.
That stupid midget's doing it again. But I would say you have something to be proud of, and that wearing that was like getting a trophy from yourself.
Yeah. You hit a
No,
We'll have to move on. We'll have to move on.
Are you gonna wear it again?
Yeah, I mean, well, if there's another goth party, but then everybody's like, "You did the same thing last year."
What do you got
like,
this
"God
year,
damn."
You did. You could wear it to the Eagle.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a leather bar.
No, okay. Well,
That's where I got electrocuted
Yeah, remember he told us that
Oh,
on
yeah,
stage.
yeah.
People love that stuff.
It's too awkward for me, Brendan. Like, I
Not his thing. It's not his thing.
No, you could just stand in the corner and look superior. You don't have to talk to anybody.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
true.
superior.
A lot of guys like the mystique of the quiet boy. Yeah.
The quiet boy.
Just be a quiet boy.
So
good
anyway,
quiet boy.
I'm watching this video of this birthday party, and all of a sudden, like, the performers come on, and they have fire dancers, and they have like a goddamn strong man. Like it's a whole
A strong man.
like 300.
this.
Like and then they all of a sudden they have like I can only describe them as genie girl dancers, sexy girl dancers. That they have like these
like belly dancers.
kind of like they're dressed like belly dancer with scarves and like all they have like some sort of ninja mask wrap.
This is Hercules blood and sand.
Yes, yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
And that shit was porno.
So
Did you ever watch that?
Is that the movie that came out with the guy from Hunger Games?
Brendan, this was a show that was on, I want to say like 15 years ago or something. It was called like Hercules Blood in the Sand or Blood and Sand, and it's nothing but like gladiators fighting and then fucking.
Well, I have to have seen that.
You got to watch it. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Okay, that's
Call
my
Scotty.
vibe. Like Spartacus, that
Yeah.
TV series
That's
Spartacus.
That's exactly what it is.
porn.
Yeah, it's porno.
Yeah.
So-
and I loved it.
I'm watching these girls dance, and I'm like, oh my god! And then
Or maybe it was Spartacus.
Boner.
they start like stripping off their silk.
Hold on a
like,
second.
And then I'm like, oh my god! And
It
then
was Spartacus, yeah.
and then these girls like they start like
Oh yeah, Spartacus Blood and Sand.
dropping it, and they start doing moves.
What do you mean
where-
dropping it?
Like
Dropping it like it was hot.
Where they start popping their...
these
Popping
girls
that pussy like that.
could have worked at a adult establishment nearby.
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
and then
wow.
they were paid to dress like genies at the
Yes.
beginning.
Because
And-
real belly dancers do not
Yeah.
pop those.
Yeah.
No, they pop them belly buttons.
And so I'm watching. I'm like, oh
Itty
my
dowdy.
god! And they're taking their scarves off. And then
Are they naked?
They get topless
Well,
and
hey
do a
now.
G-string, and then they're doing splits and whatever. And by
How
the
long
way,
was this video?
I mean, long enough for him to jack off in the car while his sons are in a winter wonderland.
it was like
It's on the
10-minute
Bluetooth.
montage. And by the way, there's a feast in the background. There's what I assume is a bunch of rich people standing around. And then I'm like, oh my god! I was like, watching these, and there's a topless girl like doing like she bending over and then covering the pee like a Chinese a Japanese
it's
girl
not-
covers
no,
her
it's
mouth
not-
when
it's
she
not-
laughs.
No, it's not a giggle cover. It's more of a no. It's that move in burlesque where you go and like you bend over, and so you don't see your like camel toe. You put like a fanned out hand over
Yes,
it.
I do with a hand fan.
Yeah, you put the fan. You do the hand fan.
And so I'm like, oh my god! I'm like looking at this in the car, and then all of a sudden, like, tick, 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 and look over, and Crystal's standing there with a man, and I'm like, oh shit! And then I open the, and then I open the door, and Crystal's like, you remember Mason's dad, Mark? He was at
Don't
Max.
use real names. What the fuck?
I
dude?
changed the name.
Okay.
And he was at Max's birthday party. I'm like, oh. And then I shake his hand, and then he starts asking me about Sofas and Suds and how to register his business next year.
Oh, no.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, you just have to go Sofa and Suds.
Give me
Facebook.
5 minutes. I can't stand up right now.
And then so then I'm telling him about Sofa and Suds. Then he walks away, and Chris was like, he saw you watching porno. And I'm like, it wasn't porno. It was a rich birthday party. I'm like, it's not. It was just a goddamn genie dancing.
Caligula.
Not the genie again.
And then I'm like, did he think it was porno? And then she's like, I don't know. It looked like it from when we were standing looking at you. And then I'm like, it wasn't porno.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, it was the video I sent you. I text you the video. At the end of the video.
No, dude.
Anyway, you can't show it on Twitch. But,
no, I can't.
And then,
Dude, we would get
so I'm like,
banned,
do I
dude.
tell the guy I'm not watching pornos at my son's school's parking lot?
Do you care though?
I don't care.
He's still coming to solve
He's telling his wife, he's like, I saw Tom and he was in his car watching porno.
And he'd be like, I wish I was allowed to sit in my car and watch porno instead of watching all these dumb kids have
Winter
fun.
Wonderland.
Yeah.
Dude, if I put this on Twitch, we'd get banned.
Anyway.
What if you put little emojis over her finger fan?
There's a screenshot. Look at that. Look at that ass. Look at that ass.
It's all right.
It's a nice ass.
Looks like a wrestler.
So
Well, they were doing. It looked like they were doing staged like fighting or something like it.
Oh, really?
They had some like
oil.
you know, like
They had like oil.
well, like gladiator fighting. You know,
They had like oil. Oil men,
it's a
like,
whole
fighting
thing.
each other.
What I'm hearing is we need to hire them for an event.
Well, we don't have the money, Brendan.
We don't know how much they are. Ask your friend.
Oh, there are a lot.
Oh my God! Have a party.
Everything's a lot.
Have a party and call it Rich Guy Birthday Party.
The
You
chat
can't
room-
afford it. The drapery is $8,000.
The chat room is asking why this continues to happen, and just,
Why? What continues that?
well, like him getting caught by Chris. Like, let me just
Because he
tell you,
keeps going to cars thinking they're safe
No,
spaces.
no,
but it's a fishbowl.
if he is on his phone, he's in his phone.
Yeah.
Like if he's staring at the phone,
Yeah.
And
I can't think about anything else.
Right. How many times a day are you on your phone and I'll walk out there and I'll tell you something and then like maybe a full minute later you'll go, what was that?
Scotty's the same way. It's the Asperger's.
Yes. Well, I tell my wife, she's like, don't blame that. I'm like, it's a disease or something. I don't know.
I got something. I got something going on.
I'm like, I'm handicapped. So like, you are. This is a hate crime. Anyway,
You just one track focus.
so let's move on to my gripe of the week.
Oh, do you want a song? I made you a new song.
And Brendan will know exactly, and I bet he feels the same way.
I made you a
about
new
this.
gripe song.
Okay,
So
all
I
right.
took the lyrics from the gripe song that everybody liked, and I made this one is inspired by Big Boy,
Okay.
and Atlanta rap.
Okay.
So this one's gonna be like a little smoother. This one's like, this is my Freaknik.
Is this the new pseudo version?
This is the new Freaknik version of the gripe song for
excited.
Tom's new gripes. Here we
Okay.
go. We're gonna get funky.
These are just observations. They are not just gripes.
Nope.
These are just things I noticed while I'm living my life. I'm not complaining about my loving wife. These are just observations. They are not
Check this
just
hook.
gripes about my wife. These are just observations. They are not just gripes. They are not just gripes about my wife. These are just observations. They are not just gripes.
No.
They are not just gripes about my wife. Let me live my goddamn life.
I forgot this was about Crystal. this gripe necessarily not about Crystal, but I will say, who just surprises her husband when they're sitting in the car at taking a breather from the cold with a stranger walking behind you?
Well, another man.
First
I brought
of all,
a man to watch you watch
It's
porno.
a little weird to be sitting by yourself in a car in a kid event. Like you can't.
Well, if you say it like that, it is. If you're saying I'm just
You
freezing
can't
and I want
do that. No.
why am I even here?
I'm a single gay man. I'm not
Yeah.
sitting in a car by kids anytime ever.
Any
No.
way you dice it, your sons were at Winter Wonderland and you were watching porn.
And you were watching porn.
I was looking at a text of a birthday party. Anyway,
I know the person too. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe he's talking about this.
Brendan,
All right.
what are your feelings
Okay.
of Salvation Army bell ringers?
Oh well, it's easy for me as a Mo. They don't like us. The guy in charge of Salvation Army wants gay people to die
No, really?
and go to
wow.
hell. So when I see them, I'm always like, sorry, gay.
Wait, is that,
I just walk by.
Will that be the final fight? Gay Army versus Salvation Army. Right?
It's Salvation Army.
Well, based on how big Brendan is and the bell ringers I've seen,
Gays are still making gays make fists like this. We're not very good fighters.
Brendan could kill 3 dozen bell ringers, no problem.
Dude,
just smash them on their heads.
Yeah.
Like
Anyway.
I'm wearing Ninja pants.
if like were you ever a big Canadian sportsman? Did you ever like use your size? Because dude,
No.
I honestly believe you could have fucked some shit up.
No, I was voted the worst floor hockey player in my high school.
Gotcha.
Because I listened to the coach. He was like, "Come and join floor hockey. You'll be great at it." And I was the worst.
Yeah.
Absolute. Yeah,
it's not for everybody.
I'm good at like solo sports.
Okay,
Like,
golf.
like whitewater rafting in a canoe.
Hold on. You described the sport that I think it takes like 8 other people
No,
and
just
someone
me.
sitting on the front.
Just me in a canoe.
It's just him high on a raft going down a
All right,
river.
well, that's canoeing,
That's a game.
which I think you need a kayak. You
Brendan-
described kayaking.
or skiing, cross country skiing. I used to like cross country ski to school.
Okay,
Like,
all right,
yeah.
all right.
That's tough though. Cross country's tough.
It's uphill both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, the worst skiing.
It's cross country. It's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah.
It is tough.
I'm gonna use these to walk.
Really slow.
It has it in the name. You're going against the name.
Well, like my hometown just got dumped on. Sault Ste. Marie, they got like 4 or 5 feet of snow or something
Wow.
crazy. It's still coming. Like my parents have been shoveling nonstop for 5 days, and I feel so bad. I
that
don't know why I'm
does suck.
laughing.
Shoveling snow is
Yeah.
horrible.
So sometimes the only way to get around, because all the roads are closed, is like snowshoe and skiing. Like even in a city, because it's just shut down.
God, what a pain
Yeah.
in the ass.
So if you need some Tim Hortons or something,
So,
you gotta put your skis on.
Salvation Army bell ringers. It's
Yeah,
this
fuck
time
'em.
of year.
Fuck 'em.
They're outside, and I go to Publix
We got a
a
good
lot.
one. The one over here, this lady.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Oh man, she's top tier.
So
She does it with the
I
jingle.
mean, she's
a
definitely
jangle
like
and a
a
jingle.
Oladipo. Like she's like #1 draft pick kind of shit. Like this lady's was killing it.
as soon as I pull up and park, I hear the bell, and I'm
I
like,
bet.
"Fuck!" Because
You feel obligated.
well, here's
He's
the
the
thing.
guy. He's a mark.
I don't have cash on me, Brendan. No one does. We all live in a cashless society.
Oh, I bet
There
they
was-
take Venmo now.
There was a thing. No, they don't.
Oh, good.
There was a thing
I
called
don't think
the
this one does.
pandemic, which accelerated the cashless society, and now we go. I was forced to learn tap, and I'm never going back, and no one's going
Do you
back.
just pretend not to look at them?
Okay, well, this is a good point you bring up because
What do you do
It's
with
like when-
homeless
it's like
people
when
that
you-
are walking the line?
Well,
Kick them
they-
in the face.
homeless people don't have a bell, and they also are drug addicts.
Because if they
So
did,
that's-
if homeless people had a bell, they'd smoke it.
so
100%.
so
Well-
I
Fucking
get
drug addicts.
I get
All of them.
mad, and because I don't have any dollars to give, and then I'm like, and I tell myself, I'm like, all right, don't be a goddamn baby.
Carry
Dan-
trash. You carry
No,
trash in
I'm
your
not gonna give
pocket.
him trash.
I used to
No.
do that as a kid. I'd carry trash
No.
in my pocket. I'd have a gum wrapper. I'd
No.
fold it to look like $1. I'd go over there and tuck my hand tight and tuck
that-
it in there and go, gave you 20.
You're a worse person.
Okay, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
That's the
Andrea said that too.
worst. That's the
Andrea said that too.
worst.
So-
so bad.
I tell myself, I'm like, just Daniel tells you, like, why are you so awkward? Like everybody just like you
They
say,
don't care.
You say Merry Christmas, they don't care.
don't
The
care.
people,
No.
no one cares, right?
Well,
so,
everybody's selfish. They don't care.
so I tell myself, I'm like, oh, this,
Including me.
the Salvation Army bell
care.
ringer. They're used to people just walking by. They don't care that no one, not everybody donates. It's just all about. I tell myself that I'm like, just walk by casually.
They're getting their community service hours.
and,
You know.
Do you change your walk? Like, are you?
I'm like, just be normal. Walk with purpose. Walk like you're busy, so
Yeah.
that like you're.
What about phone? You grab your
I
phone.
got just enough money to get my groceries and get out of
You
here.
ever thought about putting your phone up and be like,
Yeah, I don't even
yeah.
because I tell myself, I'm like, Daniel will say you're insane if you try to pretend like you're talking on the phone. Just be a goddamn man and walk in there and everybody. It's fine. No one cares.
He knows me really well.
But then-
because I would have said that.
I love that happens too. You're his inner conscience because he doesn't have one.
It's the worst
just
conscience you can
It's
have.
This
is
tiny little
Dan is on you telling you all this.
Why don't you just
stupid
pretend to be
shit.
on the phone?
Just be tough. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
But then,
touch your junk. She won't want to talk to you.
and I don't know if they were trained to do this or this is a technique, but as I get closer, it seems like the ringing gets more aggressive.
Yeah.
Like they see me get closer, like
like a rattlesnake.
it's like
Florida Diamondback.
Fucking rattlesnake.
And then I'm like, oh my,
rattlesnake.
and I'm like, oh my God, she sees me coming. She's ringing it.
Oh, that's really good.
She's ringing it louder to get my attention to donate. Right? That's what she's doing, right?
And
so,
She's bringing one in, dude. She's fucking
just
honing
give her
one
$5.
in.
no, I have no cash, Brenda. There's no way for me to give them any money.
It's the holidays. You should just have some money
I
in your
don't
pocket.
have money, though.
Just have
I
some
don't.
money in
I
your
didn't come
pocket.
prepared with money.
Trash.
Fucking COVID. There's no more money. It's just all digital.
Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna fold this napkin.
not gonna do trash.
And you just go.
No.
You just tuck it down in there. They'll never fucking know.
So
They will know. They'll say that was from that suspicious motherfucker that was too nervous to just
I'm gonna
walk
find
out.
him and kill his family.
So they're ringing the door. They're ringing the bell louder, and then so I'm forced to
Also,
make
by
eye
the way, this
contact.
story is 100% real because is it this lady? Because I walked by her and she did it. Like she does a fucking thing.
Yeah, they ring louder when you get closer to get your attention to donate, but we don't have attention, Salvation Army. Society doesn't have cash anymore, so it's impossible to put cash in that fucking cauldron hanging from sticks.
I'd
They
like to
look like
know-
a homeless person cooking beans.
We can probably find out if they may have made less since the pandemic. Like, have donations gone down?
I'm
because of
sure
that?
they have.
I would find that interesting.
It's they're too big of a corporation. There's like, do the same shit we always did. And I blame
Which
Salvation
is
Army.
hating on gays and supporting homeless people.
I blame Publix for all this. Any place that lets Salvation Army.
I used to have to
Be-
do
okay.
it. I had to do it as service hours for service club.
It's kind of we did all these religious based homeless organizations. It's kind of a bummer. Like we took a tour of. I can't remember. I think it was it might have been Salvation Army about the intake processes, and sometimes they make you go through like an adult Bible camp before they gave you access to shelter. So you have to, so you have to
Adult
go
Bible
through
camp,
a workshop to make sure that you're on page with what they believe before they decide to help you.
My church was kind of like that with me getting married. They wanted me to go to a preliminary marriage counseling with Andrea before they would let us get married
It's crazy.
in the church. And
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Well, that makes sense because why else do you want to get married at that church unless you're part of that
It was
religion?
my family church.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was for my mom.
I like you're watching a cartoon of Noah's Ark and you're shitting your pants. You're coming off opiates. You're like, what the fuck?
You literally,
I just need a bed to sleep in.
All you want to do is stop the shakes and maybe pump that old lady behind the dumpster,
So then
That old lady.
These cartoons are good.
Remember when those people were pumping each other at the corner of Colonial and Mills? Do you
oh yeah,
there was
yeah,
video
you told
of
me
it. It
about
just
that.
went viral. That's one of the busiest intersections in town.
That's Florida, man.
So what I don't understand, and I was
unsee that.
telling Daniel about this, is this can't be only about collecting donations because in this situation everybody's losing, and the way you're collecting donations, I guarantee you, if Publix or any business that has the Salvation Army, they just put donate 25 cents at the end of your transaction, people would probably press it.
They
and
do
you'd
that.
make 10 times,
Yeah.
100
but
times
the companies
more.
that do that, Five Below, they'll do hey, you want to donate an extra $1 or round up your dollars or something. Then it goes to a company foundation, and it's not
Brendan,
you're not really helping anything. It's just they're just keeping it in house.
I don't care where the money goes. I know it's going to waste.
I don't think
I'm throwing it in the garbage.
Nobody understands that he
Like,
doesn't care where the money goes. He just wants out of the scenario.
yes, that's
Okay.
I would throw a dog
Throw a dog down a well.
digitally.
He would murder a dog.
I will
to get out of it.
digitally throw $1 away on my phone to not have the awkward transaction as I walk towards the Publix entrance and then ring in
I like the idea of it. As much as I don't like Salvation Army, I like the idea of a holiday bell ringer, standing out in front of a local grocer and you're giving them cash and it's going to support the community. I like that idea.
Okay, so do people like the I guess, holiday spirit of it.
Yeah.
And they just like the bell ringer out there. It doesn't make them feel awkward every time they walk into public.
I think some people like it.
I mean, I think there are some people like you, but I think for the most part, if I'm just guessing, I would say the majority of the people in this neighborhood like to see her adjacent with the firewood because it reminds them of a time of year that they like. I'm just going off of the triggers that I have, right? So if I walk into Publix and I see her and then I look over and I see that red bundled firewood,
scented pine cones,
or a cinnamon broom, I'm kind of like, oh shit, it's happening, you know, like.
And they don't feel awkward not giving them money each
I-
time they
no,
go in.
because then you're like, oh, it's the season of giving.
I haven't
You know,
given
you're
money-
supposed to be giving money right now and supporting local.
I haven't given money to Salvation Army since I had to do it for the service club back in 1991.
Good.
And then they say and then you're forced to look at me and they're like, "Merry Christmas." They're telling you Merry
don't have
Christmas.
to say that.
And
You
then
don't have to say anything.
And then they look down. But if they say Merry Christmas, what do you just do? Head down, walk in like a
You
dick?
say Happy Holidays.
yeah, but then they look at the cauldron, and then you're gonna walk by without giving me money. I told you Merry Christmas.
Maybe chirp them up. Maybe go up to me like, you getting a lot of donations? And then they're like, not really. And then you'll be like, okay.
What the hell are we doing? Why are we still doing
like,
this?
Like they're fishing.
Yeah. Say, oh,
Yeah.
you could have got one for me, but you
Yeah.
suck.
Walk over and be like, catching anything? And they're like, not really. I'm like,
Or like-
all right,
or
have
like,
a good day.
What you got? What are you gonna do? You just ring the bell, or
All
you
right.
do a song, or
Merry
do you do
Christmas.
a dance? What do you want?
Like, I did the math, and like, if Publix has around 3,000 customers a day, if you donated 50 cents in one transaction, just like 50 cents, it would you $1,500 obviously, and then that's way more money. What do they get? $100 maybe?
No,
the whole
there's
day?
a lot of places. Whole Foods does that for local nonprofits. It's like a different nonprofit every month. And if you bring your own bags, then they like donate X amount of dollars to that charity.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's better ways to do this. If the goal is to get money,
Let them have it. Drag them.
But maybe
drag them.
Maybe,
Fuck those guys.
Maybe the goal is like, oh, this is a free holiday cheer thing that we could do. Although I don't know.
I think that it's the nostalgia of it. I think it's their brand, and I think they'll never abandon it because it's the one thing we know.
They're not paying their bell ringers, I'm sure, right? Do we know that? Are they volunteers?
When I did it, it was all volunteer. Like
Yeah.
you had to because a lot of these people are doing community service shit.
Yeah, it's
You know,
church
like,
related.
I mean,
community
like
service.
some of those people aren't going to be that savory either. You know, I mean, some of my friends were doing it because they stole computers from DeLand High School. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a lot of those people aren't doing it. Like, you should, maybe that would help you. If you look into that person's eyes and you realize that they're just some broccoli-headed punk that stole computers and they're just doing community service.
What's
fuck
with the
them.
broccoli here?
Well, it's usually an older lady though. I've never
during
seen
the
a
day,
kid
during the day.
Okay.
Well,
but as
she
we-
did something even worse.
When they get out for Christmas, you'll start seeing kids do it. Trust me, because I see them all the time doing it around here, and I'm like,
She was one of those belly dancers at that birthday party.
that lady was kind of cute.
Let's take a break.
All right.
And then when we come back, Daniel found a story about
Oh my
RoboCop
God,
and
it's so
Oreos.
funny. It's so funny.
What?
Yeah, you'll like it. I think it's funny.
I want to tell Brendan about Mark Rober, the
Yes.
YouTuber, and then we got some other stuff.
We need to talk to you and see what you've been up to, right?
Nothing.
All right.
I want to talk.
Volunteering for Salvation Army.
I want to talk about all the bars that just recently closed down on Church Street, like some staples.
I haven't valid. Yes, we're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to verify that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. A little Christmas music for you. This is Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. This is called Christmas Style. I thought it was perfect for today. Enjoy this. And we'll be right back with more on Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you want to call. Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Oh, man, voice is shit. Straight shit. That is Kestrels with their version of Last Christmas, a cover of the very famous Christmas Wham song. Welcome back to a Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am a beat-up Dan.
I'm Tom. So I was talking to Brendan on the break about the story that came out yesterday or the day before about the Church Street bars, and then I guess Ember is on Central. And basically, it's a group that owned Latitudes, Chillers, Cahoots, Ember.
Church Street Entertainment.
High
Church
Tide. I mean, I was going down to High Tide for the wet T-shirt contest. And I was sucking tits like a madman, and to find out,
I thought you were competing.
That's the old latitudes.
To find out that my favorite 19 to 24-year-old wet T-shirt contest girls won't be able to go to work.
Which one had the swings?
That would have been Mako's.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar. Like, it's kind of, for me, like, and we've done an event at Ember. I believe it was our 6-year anniversary.
Not only did we do an event at Ember, we had a listener that smoked weed in Ember, vaped in there, and it almost shut the entire...
Like an alarm went off?
You remember that? This
Well,
is when
the manager's it smells like weed in
Yeah,
here.
no, but it smelled like blueberry weed. Oh my God, it was so funny. It's when people were making their own vape juices. Oh,
Gross.
Jesus. God, what a time.
So
Yeah, they have allegedly all closed.
yeah, now
5 of them.
You said allegedly. You know what was the controversy?
Because the owners, there's been no statement from the company. There's been no statement from the owners. Like it's if you read the very first piece was by Orlando Business Journal. And if you read it, it's like, it looks like they're closed outside. That's their story. And so that's not enough for me to pick it up. I'm trying to get a quote.
Why don't you? We have insiders in there. Text the guy that you always get confused with, Sean Wasson.
Oh, from
Paul.
Wall Street?
Paul.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, but, well, the thing to me is,
Memory?
when Daniel showed me
Yeah.
this,
Oh.
I had assumed they all closed already because of downtown.
Right. I thought
You don't hear much from those businesses anyway.
You don't.
They're kind of siloed.
I had my rehersal dinner at Ember. I mean, it was a great spot, great food, killer. I mean, but that was 20 years ago.
The site of the
Well,
old
yeah,
fire station.
Yeah, 15.
Also, when, like, they're like, Chiller's closed. I'm like, the place with all the drinks on the wall that no one ever cleaned.
How many daiquiris pumped out of that joint?
The frozen wall of daiquiris
Yeah.
that obviously no one took the time to
It's
drain them
crazy.
and clean them.
Those are old school institutional.
They are,
bars downtown, and so it's part of this. The after effects of these policies out of the mayor's office to get rid of bars and nightclubs downtown. And they want it to be a family-friendly neighborhood.
Now, did they understand, like, so they want to just bring in a bunch of daytime stuff? Like, families aren't going there at night.
Daytime, well, no, but hopefully one day they can.
So there would be zero entertainment district in that.
Yeah,
area?
I don't know
because,
what.
like, to me, and this is just me, you know more than me, so answer this question because I think you'll pick up what I'm laying down. Like, me and Maisie love going to Magic games. That's like our new thing. Like, we cannot wait. In fact, we're going very, very soon. But like, it feels like you need a bar next to an NBA.
Yeah.
Like you need some sort of nightlife, right? It would be weird if there were only apartments.
Because they had the brewery there, Big Storm Brewing.
Right,
but
right.
that closed because the owner in Tampa was like laundering funds or something, and then his son was kind of on the same game.
What? A bar owner laundering money? That's weird. I've never heard of anything like that.
We're gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah.
Don't.
Allegedly.
Can you? You know what? I'm going to tell you something, and you better listen good. You don't get on our show and you talk
Say
bad
what?
about bar owners. Not on this show.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said what they were doing.
I'm completely joking around. I don't care.
I remember old radio gigs walking up to like the manager's office, and it was like
I dreaded it.
a goddamn movie where there were stacks of money in a fucking safe, and then cocaine.
Answer me this,
and
because
girls.
you and I did this all the time.
Yeah.
Did you ever get so frustrated in trying to find the manager that you left and did not get paid for a gig? Because I did.
No. I've always been taught never leave without your money.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Plus, I was like, I need this money for tomorrow.
I'm here now. Pay me before I start.
I
That's what
couldn't find
say.
the manager at La Vila one time, and I was just like, "Oh fuck this! I'm going home. I hate this place. I hate it."
Sorry to get. I just want to. Why can't I talk?
You're good. You're good. Doug and Dirk, the bars.
Did you hear? We were talking about it at the break. Did you hear about Operation Nightcap, Dan?
Operation Nightcap? No.
It just happened. So over 5 months, the city had undercover OPD officers auditing basically all of the bars downtown.
Okay.
And through those 5 months, they discovered like, I want to say it was like 157 instances of people selling drugs from like fentanyl to pot.
Ooh, that's a reason to go downtown.
Right? And
What? Bartenders selling drugs?
And not all bartenders. Not all bartenders. It's just some of these.
Send this to the news. I've never heard of this shit. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
But some of the problem is
Blew Tom's hair off.
they weren't all employees of those locations, but in the OPD report, like they say, the Bullet Bar, there was somebody at Bullet Bar who was selling, I don't know, ecstasy.
Yeah.
And then the
Oh my
Bullet Bar
God.
guy was like,
I bet that guy fucks. If you sell ecstasy at Bullet Bar, you fuck.
But Matty Bullet, who owns it, he called me the other day.
That's
he was
not
like,
his real name.
This guy is.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it's
That's really cool.
He's cool.
Oh, that should be Danny Rocket.
He said this guy, there's no record of him ever having been employed at the bar. Nobody knows who he is. Like, he might have just been hanging out at the bar, and then the cops ask him for drugs and he sold it to them. Like, there's no tie between him and the location.
Just some sort of person in
Just a
that
person.
location.
Yeah.
You can't.
And then OPD said that whole time during those 5 months, the officers were all carrying guns, and they were never found out to have guns on their possession when they entered the bars. And so part of the reason, like, we have this late night liquor permit downtown. So if you
Hold
want
on,
to stay
officers like guns? What the fuck?
That's not the thing.
You're gonna have to slow the fuck down because you are waxing us. Like,
you
slow
can't
down.
have guns in bars, right? And they're supposed to be wanding you.
Oh my God! Just like
when you come in,
just like B-Dub.
Oh, those wands don't have batteries.
But they don't know how to do it. Nobody's ever taught them what to look for. These people, they're just like, you need to start wanding, do it. And if you don't wand, you're going to lose your license. And then now it turns out nobody was wanding. These cops were carrying guns, even at this, like at Halloween, when that 17-year-old rolled up, parked his car in the garage, walked out with his friends, shot people in the street. There were also people in the bars with guns. It's just very interesting. It seems like the city has now built a case where they could now sweep across. They could close down multiple bars with one move right now because they all violated their permit. They were not enforcing the things they were supposed to enforce. They're not checking people when they come into the bars, and they are selling drugs maybe that they shouldn't. And so now the city is poised to react to this report from OPD.
Right.
And we're all waiting on the edge of our seats to see, like, how many of these bars are going to be not allowed to serve after midnight, and how many of them will be forced to close because of that. Because that's when you make money, is after midnight.
The after midnight thing is a separate permit, correct?
Yeah. In order to get the permit, you have to say that you have to pay for more off-duty police officers.
I thought
that
the permit was a blanket cost too of like almost $400K. I'd heard. Is that true or not true?
The permit itself, I think, is like $250 or something.
Oh, okay.
But the high cost is that you're being forced to pay, depending on how many people can fit in your location, you are forced to pay for off-duty police officers. But the officers aren't in your location. They're just downtown somewhere.
Gotcha.
And so because the city had increased the police presence in downtown Orlando, but they didn't have the money to pay for it. And they were using tax dollars from the DDB, which is the downtown development area, to pay for it, which is against the charter for the DDB. They're not supposed to be using public funds like that to pay for police officers, which is why they realized that during the pandemic, they switched. They were like, we got to get the bars to pay for this because we can't pay for it.
Knee jerk.
You're telling me there's misappropriation of tax money? What the fuck?
It's just huge.
It just keeps piling
it's crazy. And then the reaction to like that when I mentioned that 17-year-old boy who shot people on Halloween, he never went in a bar, but the reaction from the city because of this kid shooting somebody downtown, their reaction was, okay, now we're going to open the streets to traffic. And we're gonna
stop this.
Yeah, we're gonna stop it by working more with the bars to make sure that they're keeping guns out of downtown. Are we asking now bar owners to police the streets? Is that the responsibility of a bar? Is to keep guns out of the street?
It's never been.
It's never been their responsibility.
Are you telling me the government is trying to
overreach,
to fix a problem in the dumbest possible way? What the fuck?
It's just really confusing. There's no communication. I've gone to all these meetings that the city has where they're like, we're trying to communicate with the bar owners, but nobody is there to actually listen to what the bar owners are doing.
That's what I've heard.
Or-
is that
or-
the bar owners have no mouth or have no earpiece.
No earpiece
Correct.
and no mouthpiece.
Right.
So it's just these two bodies, circling each other in these meetings, but nothing ever happens collaboratively. Like the city could have trained, they could have done a mass training of what to look for to keep things out of your bar. Here's how to be a great operator and make sure nobody's sneaking a gun in their sock, maybe that you can't hit with the wand. Like, here's how to look for things.
You can put a gun
They've
in your
never done
sock?
that.
Here's the problem.
I don't think I could put a gun in my sock.
Not in your little ankle sock.
No, I wear tiny socks.
When I
I
go-
have tiny feet.
when
I
I-
have very small, little Mexican man feet.
When I go,
I am a size 8, right? Isn't that what you told me today, that I'm a Mexican man?
I never tell a private conversation. You can't tell people that.
Wait till you see
Did
these
you say it
texts.
affectionately? Like,
No,
my little
oh my
Mexican
God! Wait till you
man.
see these texts he's
No.
been sending me about different races and how they can feed a family.
I can tell the size of your feet by what race you are.
Yeah?
Guess
looked
who's
at my
got
feet.
big ones?
He looked at my feet and he said, "I have size 8 Mexicans." And you know what? Most men my height are of Mexican
You got
descent.
some Mexican in you?
Here's
I'd
the
like
problem,
some.
Brendan. You start wanding me for guns when I'm walking in your establishment. I do look. I'm like, what the fuck kind of place is
Yeah,
this? You know,
yeah.
it's
safe
bad
place.
for business.
It is bad for business.
Is it a safe place? It screams
If
that
they-
it's
I
a
don't know.
goddamn dangerous place.
To me, it says they looked.
I'm like-
so maybe you're safer inside.
They're doing the same thing you do in prisons. What?
All right, bend over.
What kind of problem?
Outside of a mass checkpoint downtown, I don't know how else they're gonna
I'm like,
enforce that.
you know where they don't do this? Thornton Park. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or Winter Park, or fucking Mills,
Yeah.
or any other place.
In parks, all the parks.
we brought it up.
Yeah.
We recorded at the Hideaway Bar last night, and Chip, the owner, because they moved into their new location across the street. And Chip, the owner, we brought this up, and he was like, "You could go in any bar and they're selling drugs. Like, it's not
Of course.
me as the owner.
Yeah.
We try to make sure everybody's
Wait a minute.
on
Every
the up and
bar?
up.
This
Yes.
is awesome.
To sell drugs in bars.
Yeah.
That's
We
how
used to live
people-
behind St. Matthew's Tavern. We had
Yeah.
found dime bags in our lawn every
Fuck
day.
Yeah, dude. That's
That-
dope.
Every day. Is it dope?
That's where people that like drugs go. They have been doing this for years. Anyway, so
Yeah. That's what I'm watching at work right now.
we do have
That's
a-
a big story.
We might have a phone call.
All right.
Oh. Is it someone?
Thank you for calling, Tom and Dan. Who's this?
Hello, Dan. This is Leon.
Hey, what's going on, dude? What's on your mind?
Nothing much. I'm just wondering how Tom always manages to jack up every damn vacation he goes on.
He's here. You can ask him.
Yeah,
What,
Tom.
what the hell are you talking about, Leon? What
Well,
are you-
listen, I mean, you put the four-wheelers in sideways, you lock the key, you pick up the trailer.
Oh,
you
okay.
always
Yeah.
jack the shit up.
yeah. Well,
Well, it's a fucking disability or some shit.
I hung up on him. I got him out of here.
You know, like, have you been listening to
Thank
this
you,
shit?
Leon. Leon, that was great. That was all he needed.
Yeah.
Just fuck him up real quick.
Yeah.
Just a quick call and be like, fuck you, Tom, you fucking idiot.
You call Jenna Banana. Ask her why she isn't walking everywhere. What the fuck are you doing? I don't want this.
Spicy Tom. Yeah.
I'm just
Right?
telling you what happened.
Hey, I mean, I'm not gay, but kind of sexy with
Got
his
his
anger, right?
He's wearing his emotional leathers right now.
Dude, put that kilt on and pump me good.
Also, don't you think I'm wondering the same shit? Yeah, go to bed at night,
Oh, Leon, that was
wondering
great.
what the fuck is wrong with me.
It didn't take much to get him over there. I haven't seen you explode in a while. That was pretty good. That was good.
Leon, he needs you to show him what's up.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Is he still there?
No, I hung up on him. Hey, do you want to watch my video? You need something to calm you down.
Yeah.
What's your video?
Okay, so well, first,
it belly
first let's
dancers?
talk about this. I have a meme. I'm going to put a meme up. Here we go. Ready? And meme. Which states have the tallest men? You can see this at Tom and Dan, it's at Tom and Dan Live on YouTube.
And the dark
Twitch.
red is the best. That's where the tall men are.
You know what's funny?
They're
Is
bigger in
that,
Texas.
Tom, this may be right. It may be right because if you look at Hawaii, it's white, and Hawaii has the shortest men.
Okay.
It does?
Yeah,
Polynesian men aren't tall?
they're like Mexican adjacent. I feel like.
Yeah, well, I think they're definitely in the Asian Venn diagram. I think, and then
Pacific
Let's
Islanders.
see.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
Florida's white.
Florida's like 47th.
What?
Yeah, we have the shortest men. And look at me here. I'm the king of this place.
Short
Look
kings.
at me, short king.
Where are the tallest?
Montana is your tallest.
That's
big,
hot.
mega
That's
thing.
hot.
But they're so stupid. Oh my
Isn't
God.
that where Yellowstone is?
Yeah, but they're all like,
Fuck yeah.
they're all like mouth breather.
I'm a mouth breather. I've been using that mouth tape stuff.
Or use terrorist tape?
Yeah.
Dude, have you been using terrorist tape? You need to use that for your training.
All the bros on my Instagrams are telling me I got to tape my mouth shut so I get a better
Good
jaw.
night's sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no one puts tape over their mouth
Yeah.
before they sleep.
Yeah. Bondage. Oh no. Yeah, bondage tape. That's what it's called. Mine is.
But, are you serious? You really do that?
Yeah. To keep my mouth, and then you're breathing through your nose.
Yeah, forces you to breathe through your nose.
Hold on, but
Better
Sometimes
for you.
I cheat and then I just peel open the corner.
It's better for you. I saw Jordan Peterson talk about it on Rogan. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I made that up.
hold on.
I made that all up.
But if you're like breathing through your mouth when you're sleeping, and then you're breathing through, and then you're forcing yourself to breathe through your nose, like I feel like your body's not getting enough
oxygen.
air or oxygen.
There's science to it.
I'm sleeping
Let me,
good.
why?
Sleeping good.
So
I don't
does it keep you
snore as
from-
much.
So it keeps you from snoring?
Yeah, because when your mouth is wide open, then it's like your tongue falls back. And you're like, you kind of collapse in
But
on yourself.
you got to put a piece of tape over your mouth every night?
And it's cool. Yeah, it's cool tape. It's like flexible tape. And I got one
That's
that's
a
good for my
weird-
mustache. It doesn't like pull all the hairs out. It
Yeah,
just kind of like
a lot of your
sits on it.
workout dudes, I see this on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
It's
that,
better for your jaw.
I'm surprised that you don't see it because you're like in that world, sort of.
My
you know?
algorithm knows I kind of like bros, so they think I'm watching and listening, but I'm just checking them out.
Here,
I always thought
here's,
this was some sort of novelty that no one actually does. Because,
I
it's
think
Same
like-
with those jaw, like the rubber things that you can chew on,
Yeah.
and you bite, and it develops your.
well, that's
your jawline.
not real, is it?
Yeah.
It actually develops your jawline?
Yeah.
But not as much as they
Sleep
show
tape,
on...
or mouth
No.
taping is used at night by individuals to encourage nasal breathing instead of mouth breathing during sleep. This practice is gaining popularity for its potential benefits in improving sleep quality and
Potential.
overall health.
It's the choppy
Here's why
ChatGPT.
people use it. 1. Promote nasal breathing.
Yeah.
Efficient oxygen intake.
Well,
Efficient.
I
Nasal breathing is
understand
more efficient.
why they do it. I'm just saying I doubted that people would every night tape their fucking mouth shut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
but
a
you
big
doubt
talker
the
though
pain
too.
in
I
the ass.
talk. I
You kind of
talk,
doubt that
and I-
people do everything, though, right?
Well,
Like,
that's
that's your
not-
thing.
Yeah.
Seems like a pain in the ass.
Do you want me to
it-
bring you one? You can try it.
You should. Do you think you could do it?
Well, to tape my well, not sleep with my mouth taped shut.
Why
Just
not?
open up a little corner, see if you don't feel a little claustrophobic.
No. You got to tape it shut. Like, put a piece
Here.
of tape over your mouth and see if you could sleep like that.
I mean, I could, but it's not comfortable.
But you have to wear your leather outfit too, and have your bondage tape on.
All right, now, okay, am I correct in assuming that you
Yes.
should breathe more through your nose than your
Yes.
mouth?
Yes.
Because I primarily do. Like, you know, when everybody says breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, I prefer to breathe in through my nose, out through my nose.
Well, that's weird. I don't know.
I like that. That was the correct answer. Though. I deserve that.
I don't know. Nobody teaches us this.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you deep breathe, I like to go into the nose, out through the nose. I don't like to go out through my
I
mouth.
feel like I'm part of a
Well-
zeitgeist too.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I
It's a
mean-
movement.
It's kind of like Shaq telling me he prefers cleaning the top of his car hood first. Yeah, right. Because he can, you have giant nostrils, so it's easy for you. For us with regular sized nostrils, I need my mouth open because I have tiny nostrils.
Just wait. Segment 3, he'll throw in a air is free.
No, I'm just saying it's easier for you to do. So you can't relate to us that I can't only breathe through my nose.
Yeah.
I'm like not getting enough. I have to open my mouth. And then I'm like, I'll just breathe like this. It's easier.
I'm like a champion mouth breather.
What's the science behind that, though? It's just a deeper breath?
Then
Yeah.
no, it's just like your tongue. It keeps your tongue engaged because your mouth is closed. Like if your mouth is open and your tongue rolls back, and then that can lead to choking.
Here, let me get my video for you.
Right? That's a big part of it.
But I also think they tell you to breathe through your nose, out through your mouth
It's all
when they
made
want
up.
you to calm down because so you're not taking too much air in, and then you start getting lightheaded
Or
and it makes it worse.
hyperventilate, yeah.
And then
You know, so
Scotty can stop
it
putting
limits-
shit in my mouth when I'm sleeping too. It's good. It's good.
All right.
Especially if you're at a sleepover with your friends, you don't want them getting gay. You can just put the tape on.
That's true.
Put on your butthole, too.
Yeah. Tape it all up. And nobody does nothing. Yeah.
Tape up all your holes.
And then tape your hand to your penis. That way you can feel if somebody's down there rummaging around.
Exactly.
If I was gay, that wouldn't stop me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's a waxer.
Nothing will stop me. All right.
Good to know. Good to know.
All right. You're going to love this, I think. I know that Tom is a big fan of RoboCop. We both are. I mean, we kind of grew up on it.
Yeah.
I believe there's a new documentary coming out about RoboCop, or maybe it already came out, but this just came up on my algorithm. I saved it. This is from some strange RoboCop documentary.
Is it claymation?
No.
Is it a claymation two-legged drone shooting up businessmen?
Just watch. This is Tales from the Set of RoboCop 1.
Are they doing a new movie? Is that why?
No, I have no idea, but here, check this out.
When we were in Monessen, Pennsylvania, shooting the steel mill, Peter's upstairs. We're up 2 or 3 floors. You had to go upstairs to get to him.
He's done some cocaine.
We had an explosion behind him. We make the explosion hot. We're ready to go. I went upstairs and I was carrying
Jim Faraday.
about 8 Oreos in a stack. I'd hand him his weapon. I'd say, Peter, safety's off. And he wouldn't take the pistol. And he says, Robo wants an Oreo. And I looked at him and go, no. It's just you and I, Peter. Robo doesn't get an Oreo. If Peter wants an Oreo, Peter can have an Oreo. And he clip-clops in the suit over to the edge of the railing, and Peter starts bellowing, Robo wants an Oreo. And when the steel mill just echoes, Randy has Oreos, or Robo wants an Oreo. And Steve Lim over the radio goes, Randy, do you have Oreos? So I stuffed that whole stack in my mouth. What? And then crunched them and let them fall down 3 stories onto everybody below me, and not anymore. And Robo got upset.
I haven't got a damn clue about Randy Moore and his fucking Oreos.
What the fuck is this?
It sounds like this Randy guy's just making up shit about Oreos.
It goes on, but I had to let it simmer. And I know you wanted to say something.
Hold on.
Who's lying?
Yeah, you're right. Because, so this is a
the whole
weird...
time, everybody's like, what the fuck is happening? Yes, this is how I started my day. I played this for Andrea, and I go, watch this. And Andrea goes, what the fuck am I watching? I have no idea, but I guess I want to see that documentary now.
Yeah,
right?
That was very well done.
So
the Oreos coming out of his mouth, he shoved them.
Do you want to hear more? Because it goes on a little bit more. If you want to hear some more.
All right. I want to hear RoboCop explain that this never happened.
By the way, RoboCop looks exactly like RoboCop.
He also looks like
lost
Rick
his helmet.
All right, here.
Randy Moore's a friend, but half the time I don't know what the hell he's talking about. So he's got all these stories from RoboCop. I don't remember them.
Steve Lim's going, can we get the shot and then Robo can have an Oreo? And Peter said no. So they had to cut. They were rolling. They're ready to go. Now we're hot on the explosion. They had to send a PA up the stairs. They feed him an Oreo, and now he's got Oreo in his teeth. So then the PA has to pick the Oreos out of his teeth. And then he says, okay, I'm ready. And then we shot it.
Oh, fairness. Randy looks like he sucks dick in the bathroom.
Always say Robo wants an Oreo.
I don't believe anything he says.
I had a gentleman that worked with me. And his official title, it should have been the Peter Feeder, because that's what the crew called him, is the Peter Feeder, because for some reason, weapons had to feed Peter Oreos.
Randy, love you madly. Don't believe one fucking word out of your mouth.
There you go.
He seems like he would just, if it was real, he'd be like, yeah, because I wanted a fucking Oreo.
Yeah, I'm dressed in the suit. His prosthetics took hours. Like I'm low blood sugar.
How fucking weird is that?
Now,
isn't that a weird?
Yes.
And then
it's great.
Hold on, here. There's something at the end I want to play.
Randy's a fucking monster.
Look at this. Look at that. Look at the end here. Hold on. Let me.
There's more.
It's weird.
When we were in,
it's right here. Watch this. 100 interviews, exclusive behind the scenes, the movies, TV series, video games, comics, and it's like RoboDoc. Oh, RoboDoc, the creation of RoboCop. So
it reminds me of that like Axe Cop cartoon show.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
So what's weird is this guy, not the part that he wanted.
It's all
Oreo. He's an actor. Like there's a lot of time in between shots. Like you're standing around. Like I imagine that you're in prosthetics. It's like, hey, can you give me some sugar or calories because I've been here for
sweating my balls off.
Yeah, I've been here for a long time. We haven't eaten it. You know, it's not lunch.
I was just resurrected to be a half human, half robot cop.
But the
Give
fact
me an Oreo.
The guy is claiming that this actor was screaming, "Robo wants an Oreo" to everybody.
He said he was bellowing. He said
Robo wants an Oreo. Robo wants an. That's a weird thing.
That didn't happen.
Did you make it into a T-shirt yet?
No,
I'm sure it's an old story. I did a little more research on it. Apparently, if you were a RoboCop nut, you probably would have known that story, but I thought it was completely crazy.
Well, actors are a lot of them are crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, I believe before the other guy said, like, I don't know what he's talking about.
I believe it.
Like,
I think I believe it.
I would have believed that happened because actors they get crazy. They started getting into character. Like,
but Randy looked batshit crazy.
Yeah.
That guy who was telling he looks like, he just makes things.
But
up.
apparently, the chat room says that Randy is. Did they say he was? No.
He looks like a child molester.
They don't know who Randy Moore is, but like they were kind of vouching more for Peter Weller, who played RoboCop.
Okay.
I mean, goddamn, Jim Carrey lived as what's his face? The
Grinch,
the actor,
The Mask.
Andy Kaufman. Thank you.
He lost his brain.
I mean, I knew The Mask, but that wouldn't have been funny to me.
And then everybody in the crew had to call him Andy Kaufman. The Dave Chappelle joke of it's like, and that really happened, and they made a documentary about it. So like, actors do crazy shit.
Now he's a full-time painter.
Yeah. Oh, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He didn't like being famous.
He will do the Sonic movies.
Yeah, Sonic, which is an odd thing to only do. Like, I will only be Eggman. I'm like, all right.
Dude, Andrea doesn't believe me on that. I told Andrea that. I said, no, he only does the Sonic movies. And in the new one, he plays two Eggmans. He plays Eggman's grandpa.
Oh, yeah, my sons can't wait for the new one.
It looks good. There's double Eggman, which makes me... And then I was explaining this to Andrea. I'm like, yeah, I'll only be Eggman. She's like, that is the nuttiest thing.
I can't.
They're not bad.
I don't know.
They're not bad movies. They're not. You should
but they're more for kids. Yeah, you don't want to.
Give them a shot.
Blue Eye Samurai, though. Did you see that?
What is that?
Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix?
No.
It's about a Japanese woman with a white parent, and she becomes an amazing samurai.
All right.
Killer.
I don't necessarily like women samurai. I like kind of my traditional samurai. Sorry. Like
trying to think of a female samurai joke, but I'm tired.
So good. She pretends. It's very Mulan. She pretends to be a guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, but do they have that scene where she shows her titties? Because
they have sex.
That's the best part of the movies. When I was growing up, the best part of the movies where the girl would pretend to be a guy is there'd always be a reveal scene where she'd show her titties, like in the one where what's the movie where the girl shows she has a tuxedo on
and they're taped down
and she pulls her titties out. That girl ended up being...
It was filmed here, Amy. It was filmed in Winter Park.
Fuck.
It's based on
Just the Boys. Thank you.
Yeah.
That'll make you mad.
It's based on a Shakespearean thing.
I like that.
Taming of the Shrew or something.
Do we have to go to break or should we?
We can.
Well, before we go to break, I'll tell Brendan about Mark Rober, the YouTuber, right? So, have you heard of this person?
No.
I had never heard of this person either.
Pull him up.
I will pull him up.
And so my son Max was telling me like, I like this YouTuber Mark Rober, and he showed it to me. And so I was like, okay, this is another, unspeakable Mr. Beast. This is the content, because I'm so used to the same. You're familiar with I'm staying in a $1 hotel. I'm staying in a $10,000 hotel.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit.
Silly YouTube videos that they do.
Or you fill your rented mansion with McDonald's play balls.
This is one of the guys he's a millionaire, and it's all their friends hanging out and doing like weird challenges and stuff.
Now it's their science.
Okay.
And so like
that's cool.
But Max had been interested only in like the unspeakables, and I call it just garbage.
Kind of junk foody. Yeah.
Junk food content where there's nothing you learn off it. Like when
they do that, the elephant snot stuff.
Elephant
This is what
toothpaste.
Mark Rober
Yeah,
does.
very
Okay,
good.
so-
yes.
Yeah.
So
You're picking up.
I know some
yeah.
things.
By the way, Mr.
What?
I watched a Mr. Beast one time with Max where they were eating like $1 meal and like a $20,000 meal, and then at the end, when they end the $20,000 meal, they hired some French chef that he looked confused about what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And he made some $20,000 shrimp dish, and then one of Mr. Beast douche Troy friends is like stinks like fish, and I'm like, this motherfucker's a culinary, you know what I'm saying? Like some French culinary, like high profile. They paid him a shit ton. They just have, and it's like, oh god, it's so disrespectful.
They dump it right in the trash can.
Yeah. And it's like,
Fuck you, chef.
Do you know how people used to make fun of like old? It was like old money and new money.
Yeah, it's new money.
Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is just so
It's new
money.
YouTube.
Yeah.
They're all just like I'm literally watching over this court over his shoulder. They're
Now-
like,
Yeah, I'm
throwing
showing
ping
some
pong.
Mark Rober
and I bet
for
they
him.
get like a prize package of $30,000 if they win this
No,
little
it's,
challenge.
it's not like that.
His
That's
are-
more Mr. Beast. This
His
is
are
science.
a little bit better. So
Okay.
like he'll do like physics, and then he'll do like a
So you
challenge
love
that has
him.
like an experiment. It's good though.
You love him now.
I not love them, but I like it way better than the junk food content of the fucking
Okay.
$20,000
Yeah.
Because
shrimp.
Max
Yeah.
is learning something.
Yeah, at least there's that. At least there's some sort of education. He's talking about
Does
physics.
he want to do these things?
He does. Now, he does, but he wants to do them through their subscription service that they
oh
sell.
my God! Sign him up to be a
That's-
BDM.
That's $30 a month, and you get some Chinese garbage to put together, a fart blaster or whatever
Yeah.
in the
Are
mail.
they into making content?
And my
boys,
sons,
yeah.
no,
Oh,
too
yeah.
lazy.
Have you ever met his sons? Here, I'll give you. Here's
not
his
really
here's his
interested.
littlest one.
I say hawk, you say tua. Hawk, tua, hawk, tua.
That's not okay.
No,
That's not okay.
That was Casper
It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah, that's what they were chanting
can't
at
be
school.
here.
Totally
I can't
fine.
be-
That's
I
my
gotta go.
text tone.
I gotta go.
That's my text tone.
Idiot.
Yeah.
That were chanting that
You
in
should
class.
put into work. You can start a whole YouTube channel for your boys just doing things like this.
Yeah, no, I told-
Content.
They that ship has sailed, Brendan. You can't become a YouTuber now.
Yeah, it's done. It's over.
But so I'm watching Mark Rober, and then Max was like, "Oh, let's do the subscription, $30 a month." And then I'm doing the math. I started looking at the
$30 a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I wish we had that.
You do get a cardboard filled with garbage.
Cardboard. You
They
do
you get Chinese kids put together for $1 and they with 300% markup. But
30 a month.
But anyway,
You
better.
know the best part about those Chinese kids putting together those boxes? They're smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's the funny part.
So
That is kind of funny.
I look at this, and Max is looking at these, and
Yeah,
I do
and
like
he wants it so bad.
and I do like it better than the
mowing
unspeakable.
lawns.
Dude, Mr. Beast provides. I mean, he might be a good guy. It's up in the air, whatever.
But
But
the
it's
content's
not
junk food.
educational. Yeah, it is not.
And so at least there's that. But I'm doing the math. I'm looking at each video and the views, and they're like 17 million, 21 million, 25 million, 17 million.
Oh, God, let's see the one I'm on. Has
How many subscribers does he have at $30 a month?
An insane amount. And now he got bought out by a venture cap. We talked about this
Oh.
earlier. So I'm sure.
Oh,
that
yes.
he
has 1.5 million subscribers.
And so you start doing the math. You're like, Jesus Christ! The views alone, they have bigger numbers than the NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't understand when they see these guys. They're like, oh, look at them.
I mean, they're pushing numbers like World Cup. Like top tier numbers of like it's like having every person in the world watch it.
God, they must just think they're
no.
Are they kind of like assholes? Do they think that they're just
Not all of
No,
them.
no. It's just
If I was making $30 million a month, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Well, this guy got bought out by a bigger company. He's just getting riding the paycheck wave now, I'm sure. But or he has some sort of deal. But
how many years was he doing this for ahead of? So he's
yeah.
Oh, he's
You
been
only need
at
to
it
do
a
it for
while.
1 month.
Yeah. No, he's been doing it a while.
Stinking rich, and I did look at the NBA Finals numbers from last year. It was like it was like 17 million. He gets 17 million a video.
That's crazy.
So you start doing the math, and you're like, the amount of money that we're talking, and
wouldn't you be tempted to do something real when you got that much money?
no, where you're.
Well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean do something real?
I don't know, like
Do something helpful for the world?
or like go
Well, I think he came from that
get rid of
world.
the Pacific garbage patch, or
Well, before he was an engineer, then he worked for NASA for 9 years.
Oh, so he's been trying to do that his whole life.
He worked on the Curiosity rover, and he worked on all of that. So, yeah, I think he was a normo for a long time. And then I think he's like,
I wonder if he has a foundation. If you got that much money, you have to have like a foundation.
You know, he's on Yo Gabba Gabba Land, which makes me feel like they would link themselves to somebody good.
Right.
Or at least relatively savory.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's
Yeah, I like Yo Gabba Gabba, so I have high hopes for Mark. I don't get bad vibes from him at all, and I do from Mr. Beast.
But the amount of money is insane, and how cheap it is to produce this content, even though he does elaborate things sometimes, of course he does, but comparatively to the NBA Finals and getting, 60 millionaire basketball players, you know what I'm saying? It's like the amount of money, I mean, look, just how much you're paying these guys, like, so it's so much cheaper and you make more money anyway. So the amount of money is absurd. And as I'm watching this, and he's doing the stereotypical science tricks, the volcano, the fart blaster. What are some of the other ones?
We've done elephant toothpaste.
You put your finger with Dawn soap in some like water with pepper on it and separate.
Yeah. Water tension.
And all I can think about is
surface tension.
58-year-old middle school science teacher in inner city Kansas City or something or like in middle America, and then he's watching this guy make $80 million, and then he's like, I make $35,000 a year. I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
He's been doing the same shit. And he's like, no one cared. And
I had that. I had the little old chemistry teacher that had one leg that was like 4 inches shorter than the other one, so she hobbled, but she would do all the great experiments. Like
polio?
I think it had to do with polio. She would do the alchemy penny lab. We took a penny. We dipped it in some sort of solution, and then we took it and put it in the flame of a Bunsen burner, and it turned to gold. She blew my mind. She literally made me into science. And that lady got paid jack shit.
Yeah, and I doubt the kids in the class even gave a standing ovation or wrote a thank you card. They just leave
they hated her 'cause she was mean.
This,
I wonder if he's working with schools, like school science programs. That'd be cool.
We got no time, Brendan. He's just making content and making hundreds of millions of dollars.
But there's people. He's got people around him. It's like, you're the guy that sends these things to school so they can do them and get excited. I like that.
All these poor middle school science teachers across the country get and then also I imagine they're like, wait a minute, all these kids, they got all these views, like kids are sleeping in my class. So I remember in middle school science, no one gave two shits about what was going on. People had their head down, sleeping. No one cared. The science teacher was curmudgeoned. You know what I'm saying? They call him foam cracker. When they, you know what I'm saying? They foam cracker. You know what I'm saying? You make some volcano foam, and they're like a foam cracker. I'm just,
I went to a school where there were 3 native reservations. Also, went to they were all around my high school.
Yeah,
none of them ever went to school, but this one guy came into class, and he was Indian. He used to see me to be like, "There's that big, tall John Wayne motherfucker."
That's what they say.
That is like big, tall John Wayne.
Rober works with Mr. Beast. He did the Team Trees in 2019, and then he did Team Seas in 2021. They rescued 30 million pounds of trash from the oceans. So, he is dabbling in good stuff. In 2021, he did another thing where, with Jimmy Kimmel, because Kimmel's son is autistic, he did a big autism fundraiser, online fundraiser to raise money for autism programs.
There's a guy locally,
seems like the guy's a good dude.
There's a guy locally here who has a tech group. I think they're doing radar for. Bat radar for cars. I can't remember. LiDAR? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that is what it's called. Yeah.
And he's building a whole community for autistic kids to be autistic adults in. It's a safe community with structure where they can get houses and jobs and on the coast.
Huh.
He'd be a great guest. I'll find out his name.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
A great movie would be if, I find my way into the community.
Johnny Knoxville and Tom Van.
And then I'm the king. I'll write it down.
You're just triggering everybody's.
Anyway, all right, let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll do some voicemail.
Yeah, man.
And Brendan, you going any? Are you going on any vacations for?
Yeah. I got a
winter
couple.
break.
Yeah, for Orlando Magazine, I have 2 trips coming up this
Okay.
month.
Hey.
And we'll talk about that.
The name of the band is King Ropes. The name of the song is Radio Jane. It's pretty cool. It's a cool little track. You'll enjoy this. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time momentarily. Send me an email, show@tomandan.com. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. Brendan O'Connor's here. How you doing, Brendan?
I guess I'm okay.
What's wrong?
I know, I
buddy?
just felt like.
Okay. Oh, I like that. He's like doing a character or something.
So where are you getting paid to go now?
Hey!
That's what I want to know. And also, can I get in there?
Yeah.
Hey,
You
what
want
does
it?
that mean?
You can get in there.
Let me
No,
get
no,
in
no.
those
Put on your
pants.
leather skirt thing.
Or is this like radio where like the hosts try to box out anybody trying to get in on the easy gig?
Yeah.
You know,
You're not
Are you
taking
good
my
writer?
Ember appearances.
well, ChatGPT. I'll put in the things. I'll be like, make this good.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Hold on.
Like my latest, I went up to Atlanta. I went to Chateau Elan in October, and that just came out in this month's issue of Orlando Magazine, and it's me at this fancy resort that I had no business being at.
All right. Well, I like fancy resorts. I could be there too.
It was like Justin Timberlake goes there and plays golf. And,
I'm Justin Timberlake, a cancer player.
and like all the beautiful black women in Atlanta go there to show off their amazing
God.
fashion.
Have you seen Black Valley Girls?
That's what this was. That's what this. I thought I was wearing like my good like resort duds, and I just
Did
looked
you
like
check
a
them
hobo.
out yet? I know you did.
Yeah. What?
Well, you said it was just black schoolgirls. The Valley Girl part was confusing because it had nothing to do with like
the proper brand.
Just
the
beautiful
proper
rich
branding.
black people.
Yeah, beautiful rich black people.
But this next coming trip, I'm going to New Smyrna Beach for just an overnight. There's like a wine festival, and so they wanted me to come out to the wine festival. And then I was like, cool, there's some other things I haven't been there. And they said,
he
we'll
wines
put you
all
up for
the
a night.
time. Oh, sorry.
They gave me like a whole itinerary of things to go to. Sweet, there's like a distillery there, Sweet something distillery in New
Sweetwater.
Smyrna Beach. No.
Oh, no, New Smyrna?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm going to check that out. And then after that, I get to go to Key West for 4 days.
Dude,
which would be great.
Are
Key
you
West is great.
I'd say right downtown.
Oh, nice. I've never stayed downtown. I've only been on a cruise in there one time and then stayed on the outskirts and then driven in.
Getting some like sunset tiki tours on
Hell
the
yeah.
boats. And yeah, it'll be good.
That's going to be awesome.
I love that kind of stuff. And then I always make like weird side trips because they always try to funnel you to like the best of the best things in town. But
Yeah.
I want to see like the dog cemeteries, and I want to see like who's looking after the chickens in Key West. And I'm going to go to like the chicken
Oddities.
Yeah, I want to see like the cool local gems that not a lot of people get to talk about.
Now, you said I love that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but you described 3 amazing vacations. So no shit. you didn't say like, hey, I went out to the desert and did survival training.
Well, okay.
Like you're like, hey, I go where goddamn celebrities go and get pampered.
Yeah.
I go to Key West at nice resorts. Like,
True.
This
does
is
sound
awesome.
pretty awesome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
There's I've only been to Key West once, and we went to a drag bar. I went with my brother. He had never seen drag performances before, and I just found out that drag bar has a bathhouse connected to it in the back.
All right.
You have to go through like a little speakeasy door to get in the back. So
Okay.
I think I might check that out, but it scares me.
Well,
I kind of want to
what
see
scares
it.
you about it?
Well, a Key West bathhouse sounds like, pirate stuff.
What is that?
A bathhouse, do you know what that is?
No, I mean, like, you're going to go
Like
in there.
Club
and-
Orlando.
You're going to go in there and, like,
they're peg legging you.
yeah. I'll make you walk.
Like they're
swabbing your neck.
They're not getting a massage.
No, I know what it is. But like, why
Everyone
would you?
gets a happy ending.
I mean, when you go in there, I mean, you could just be like, no, thank you, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
I kind of want to wear like an inflatable spaceman outfit and just kind of walk through it. So,
like you're visiting.
Don't touch me, but I'm just looking.
Yeah, like you're visiting an alien land.
Yeah, Star Trek outfit.
Okay.
Just beam in and get a tricorder.
I feel that.
Once you open the door, that is the permission to
do that.
that you are now involved in this scenario.
I think about glory holes almost every day because comedian Jim Norton.
What?
Well, he wrote it in our bathroom. So every time I pee, I look at it and it says, this place needs a glory hole. So almost once a day, I think of glory holes, and I'm always running the numbers on them. And when I run the numbers on glory holes, there's no way I wouldn't try to use my side eyes, like my peripheral, to catch the whites of the person in the hole's eyes to see if I can tell if they're yellow like Michael Jordan.
Wait,
what do you mean? To see if he has
No, I would know it's Michael Jordan back then.
Why is Michael Jordan in a glory?
Never mind.
Is that a thing he was doing?
No, I'm sorry.
Michael B. Jordan?
I'm sorry I came here.
So, Brendan, now these...
I didn't even smoke pot.
When they set these deals up, is it they obviously they were like, we want you to see this, we want you to stay here, and then we want you to write about it to bring tourism in.
Like I just did Apalachicola, and there's a group there that is just buying like a million things in that area, and so they have this beautiful old hotel right downtown Apalachicola, if you can say downtown, and they also happen to own a brewery that they just started, and they have a restaurant. Actually, they have a couple of restaurants, and all the restaurants sell their beer. So they brought me up. I didn't know it was all owned by the same person, and I discovered it as I was going through these locations that they wanted me to go look at, and then I had to make sure that I was they paid for us to be there, but I also want to make sure I'm seeing some other things that aren't just dictated by the sponsor.
And how much of that do they control, or do you have to
I was on my own, and there were some bad experiences at some of the spots,
right?
But I don't know how much they have control really over it. They don't get to approve it before we print it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just print it.
Yeah,
and I'm not out for blood or anything.
No.
I'm having a good time.
You've never I don't think ever presented yourself as that type of journalist anyway, because those type of people are pretty much like that, we know them.
The only time I got anything like this was my last couple years in radio, where
Caradonna.
Well, I was going to name the damn company.
Sorry, because I was going to talk shit. I can cut it out. I'm so sorry.
It was so long ago.
God, I do that all the time now. He says things and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's why I'm becoming an old man.
You can do this. You can do this. No, you do this with your crews.
And it wasn't even their fault. It was, but we took a group of listeners with us. And
this wasn't their fault, but this is kind of a funny story, I thought.
And then the hotel,
especially the red-haired guy, he almost died.
That they put us in was dilapidated because they were building a goddamn mega Chinese what was it called?
They were building
Baha Mar.
It was Baha Mar, and then right next to the first thing we see the first thing that happens when we get off of the plane. We get in the car, and then the Bahamian man starts going crazy, complaining, super racist about all of the Asian people eating all of the turtles, right?
Yeah, they eat all the turtles.
And he goes on this racist rampage, he's like, they're eating all the fucking animals on this island, they're fucking eating everything. And he's just going crazy.
I did think about that recently.
The turtle?
And I did too.
And I was like, they're describing what happened in the bomb.
But it wasn't Haitian people. Yeah,
we were losing ducks in the parks here locally because they said Asian families were eating ducks.
Have you ever had duck? It's fucking delicious.
Yeah,
oh my God, it's good.
Yeah,
I heard them talk about it. But anyway, because they were building this mega hotel, the hotel right next door, they're like, we give up. and then the fucking panels, you see the electric, all the the guts of the building up, the panels are falling off.
Yeah.
And then one of the listeners that they came with us on the trip, there was only a dozen or maybe even less.
Such a nice guy too. What a nice guy.
He
was a dive master.
He's scratching one morning. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I think I have bed bugs,
dude."
And he's infested with bed bugs.
And he was a bigger dude, and he was head to toe bed bugs.
Because he's hot. They like that hot body.
He got decimated.
Anyway,
gross. Have you been on the St. John's River cruise?
No.
Did they work with you?
No, but I've seen it. And the first thing
That's a good laugh.
See, no, he just did what I just did. Nope, but I've seen it.
I've driven by that river cruise a million times on my boat. I look at it and go, up, Baja I'm like, who's going on that?
Scotty and I went on it for a Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow.
And we were so
Please tell me
excited.
you were dressed like pilgrims.
No, we got dressed up nice, but it was like all, retired Air Force. And,
Oh, my God. Wow.
Just people, I don't know, people who go
Geriatrics?
to Hollerbox for lunch.
Yeah, older.
Yeah. And nothing against Hollerbox. It's just that's the vibe.
No.
Americana, right? And
Classic. Yeah, good service.
And it was not good. I have to say, we got diesel poisoning. I don't know. Their smokestack is like too short or something.
So, that's what Andrea said. I'm right here, dude. Fucking right here. Tiniest steamboat in all of Baldwin Park.
Nothing worse. And they did not know how to use it.
They make it look like a paddle boat.
It's a fucking old Chris Craft.
We were like smoked out. And I was gonna complain.
It's a fucking
2 old diesels under there.
That's an '88 Regal.
And they gave us there was a course for a salad course, and they brought out the tiniest little Caesar salad like this, and it looked like someone had just jizzed. It was just so gross. I'm glad we did it, but it was like $80-something per person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jizz has gone up.
Now,
jizz has gone up.
Yeah.
I don't want to blame the victims.
Wait, no, this is your defending a buzzer. Hold on.
Okay, well,
did you know Jackal's doing a theme song for you? So you need to stay on brand.
It's historic. It sounds
Stay on
like
brand. Defending a monster.
And I was not sick. I'm seeing that in the chat right now. I do okay on boats. I was not sick like on the Semantics cruise. This was fine.
Okay.
You're not going fast at all.
No.
But you couldn't see anything after a certain point. Like it's just,
yeah, the water is brown black.
some doo-doo water, some green.
You was in the woods.
Trees.
At some point, we gave up on dessert. I was like, let's just go on the fucking deck. I can't be around these people anymore.
Yeah.
It stinks
Don't
like
go
diesel.
on the deck. There's
I'm gonna
diesel
vomit.
out there.
Yeah.
But on the very top, it was fine, and we smoked some doobies, and we watched people hunt gators in the St. Johns River.
Then you were finally doing
that
what
was
you
fine.
do on the St. John is you smoke weed and you catch gators.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, no, but you pull up on Drink Beer Beach, you wave a Trump flag, you get drunk, you stand there in the doo-doo water. I've done that all my life.
You stand in the water where that swing is?
Oh, yeah. I
swing
swim in that, the kids swim in that.
Yeah.
Scotty's dad's pontoon broke down at the launch. We had to jump in the water and tow the pontoon back to the dock.
Yeah, it's fine.
And what launch?
The closest, it's like right by the bridge. Right by the...
Oh, yeah. Well, Lake Monroe launch.
They're rebuilding it now, I think. Or
yeah,
maybe
they have
done.
rebuilt it.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a cruising area, too.
every time I saw, it's called the River Ship Romance, by the way.
Yeah,
I think it's something like
it used to be. Yeah,
no, just gross. It was, and I'm sorry to say that. I wanted it to be.
You're just saying what
really
you feel
cool.
inside.
yeah, which is true.
But
I mean, we had a guest.
It.
We had a guest come on here one time, a very motivational guest that talked about how they were, were disappointed by bigger people.
Now
like fat people.
Yeah.
Brendan, what made you
speaking from your core?
Why did that come up though?
No, never. They know. The listeners know.
What are you saying, Ray?
The listeners know.
He goes on he's crazy, Brendan. He's crazy thing.
I thought you were saying I'm opinionated because I'm a big person.
No. You're not a big person. Never mind.
We're fucking fighting.
When you saw the River Ship Romance, what made you think it was good? Back to victim, because every time I've seen it,
it has the little.
The origin of the booking is
the
what
paddle
he's
thing
for.
in the back.
But did you see it?
Paddle. You like the paddle in the back.
Hold on, did you see a drawing of it?
It's like an Elks Lodge on the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just it's decorated the same
Kitschy.
for everywhere. Yeah, just kitschy.
Kitschy, Florida.
Yeah.
And you love old Florida.
I love old Florida.
And so does Scotty.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
so
that
we
checks
were up
out.
for an adventure.
Yeah.
We weren't going in with like huge expectations. Which is good because I'd be even more upset.
Yeah. So you would do it again.
I would go again if it was a buyout and if they could guarantee that the smokestack was taller this time.
So
They
with a
need
little more
taller smokestack
control.
to lift it above the boat, because otherwise you were just sitting in this cloud like Pigpen from Peanuts. Like it was just, it was smothering.
What about a Dyson fan?
Great.
Okay.
I might bring a gas mask next time. And a Speedo.
Post-apocalyptic river cruise. Whoa, dude.
Oh.
That would be really cool.
And then stop at Swamp Grill, have some gator bites. And,
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out Swamp Grill is the river ship romance on land.
You don't like it? You don't like Swamp Grill? Are you kidding me?
Well, the fact that you don't like river ship romance and like Swamp
brutal.
Grill.
Yeah.
Brutal.
You guys are having,
we're not
you guys are having
describing
a Florida trash fight.
we're
We took the Sunrail to DeBerry and then
describing
we biked over.
the difference between a Honda Accord and a Honda Civic. What the fuck are you?
That's an LC.
No.
That's an LC.
No.
Every time I pass River Ship Romance on my boat, there's people just looking out the window like they're on the megabus.
Like help. Like,
they're just staring out the window like they're
yeah.
taking the megabus up to Tennessee.
There is this beautiful family right behind us that you could tell they were really looking forward to a Thanksgiving on the boat. And the whole time they were just like, no.
So you got to see people's disappointment.
Pushing things around on their plates.
Oh,
and
man.
sorry, I'm going to get sued.
No, I mean, it's just an opinion. I mean, maybe they had an off
I'm here
night.
to tell you the truth.
Had an off night.
Let's
stick with boats. You want to do a voicemail?
Yeah.
Well, a long enough time has gone that we can talk about this now.
I know what you're going to queue up.
A certain person, they're working with us, helping with partnerships, advertising partnerships.
Recently?
It was new. No, this is a couple years ago.
A while ago.
And it was new, and the person
I
was
won't
new.
blurt it out.
And they're like, we have this comedy paddle boat, or it's not a paddle boat, it's like a river ship, like a river ship romance. It's
we have
a
joke.
cruise.
We have a joke steamboat.
Yeah, it's basically a paddle boat, and it goes in the intercoastal, and there's comedy.
Cruise.
Okay,
that's fun.
A local comedy cruise.
So I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I wasn't really, I'm busy, so I'm like, okay, that sounds good. And like, they got. Usually I'm like, do they got money? But my first question, and then they're like, yeah, they want to advertise. I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah. And then
I think we did make a few. We always make paddle boat jokes because we've never seen good paddle boats.
And then as it got closer, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the person wants to come on to promote it," and I'm like, "Okay." And then I started paying attention. And I'm like, "Who is it?" Whatever and then they tell me who wants to come promote it. I'm like, "Oh, all right, okay." And they're like, they promise it's gonna be good. They got some good comedians. I'm like, okay. And so then the person comes on and starts promoting it, and I'm like, oh my god! And I'm like, this is not like when it's happening. I'm like, now I was hoping it's gonna be good. Like I was like, maybe
wasn't there any? There was like
because I don't want to promote something that's gonna be bad, and I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be good.
Wasn't there like no details?
Well, the details
it was very muddy.
It
was very cloudy.
Seemed like some, anyway.
Yeah.
Was it like just a scheme?
No.
To get some cash?
Well, a listener did lose some money.
I think scheme is harsh.
Yeah, and then I was like, I just offered to pay her back. Send her straw hats,
5 straws. Give her a 5 straws, and we'll,
Anyway,
give her a buy one get one at Pyro Spot.
I screamed, "No more paddle boats! No more paddle boats!" All right. I know the person's laughing as if there's a.
Oh, she already told everybody who it was. All right, let's stick with the boat theme. This one is about airboats.
Dan in Pompey again. I heard my call earlier about airboats that you guys just played on the air on the same show. There are tons of manufacturers for airboats. In fact, Diamondback, Panther, Hammond, that's one that I own. They're all over here in Brevard. There's a Gilio.
That's
tons
cool.
of manufacturers, and there are some badass airboats. Look it up on Facebook Marketplace. Just type it in. You'll see some 100,000, 150,000. And these are not giant, like bringing 50 people on them. I mean, they're good size, but They're just,
Why would you need 100? Is that for commercial uses?
I don't know, but I like the idea of $150,000 airboat. Like, look, I'm not.
a lot.
It is.
Are
I'm
they
not,
hunting? Are
I'm
they
not-
hunting gators? On
No,
that?
I think that'd be like a tour boat, right?
Well, no, he said they're not big tour boats. Like, I mean, if with all the bells and whistles and like a
drug running,
like those like aviation engines, you know, like you start getting into the props. The props
if
could
you're
be
paying $150,000 for an airboat, it's so you can transport drugs illicitly across.
Now,
borders.
airboats are not good.
So what else are you spending?
There's your book.
What
Write
is-
that book.
That's my book.
No,
write that book.
$150,000.
Yeah.
Airboat.
Airboats are not good for transporting drugs. They can't hold a lot of weight, like especially like the small.
Yeah, that's true. It's just kind of
like they have two-seaters,
floating on
most
the top.
Okay.
You know, and just kind of pushing you around.
But these guys get serious. I mean, there's airboat races in Kissimmee. I've been to them before. My
Super
pop-up.
dangerous, though, isn't it?
The
Races are.
Why, it's in a cage, right?
Well, the propeller's in a cage. You are sitting with no seatbelt
Yeah.
on,
Like a stick.
You don't wear a
like
seatbelt?
like a
No.
tiny stool.
and you don't wear a seatbelt on purpose.
Can I tell you how lame I am? I just worry about the animals that are like cruising through, like when they go through the reeds and stuff. I'm like, how many little birds are they just?
Oh,
chopped
you're
up?
blowing some nests. They're fine. They're tough ass birds.
Hey, that would
People
be a
are
great
more-
shirt that said "blowing nest."
Blowing nest.
Yeah, that's an airboat shirt.
Like Crystal, like she sees a bird every once in a while, and it's all like its beak is fucked up, or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, poor bird." I'm like, "That bird is tough as fuck." Like that bird lives out in the wild. Birds are tough,
They are
and
tough.
people feel bad for birds.
There are a lot of birds around here with fucked up beaks. I always look at Andrea and I'm like, "What do you think that does it make a different noise?"
Disney fireworks
because
does
its
that.
beak is all fucked up.
They'll live and eat with hooks in their mouth.
Yeah.
You know, like birds. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're not crying about nothing. They'll just fly around. They'll just fly and die.
When I worked at Epcot, we'd look at all the mutated fish and stuff in the water, and just because you
sounds
do all the
awesome.
fireworks every night, and you're like, that's not good water that they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They're
like
looking
the
bizarre.
idea of the workers do it because we don't get to see any of that stuff, and I would like the idea of you guys are looking at all
Oh.
this fish, and then one of the chefs he scoops one out, he's frying it up back there.
We have bunnies
messing
there
around.
at the Canadian Pavilion. There's that garden, that
Yeah.
really beautiful garden, and there you'd see rabbits in it all the time. We had a boa constrictor that was eating them. We didn't know. We just kept we realized we didn't have as many bunnies one day, and then we were just outside at the popcorn cart, and we saw this giant
Oh my god!
boa constrictor. They had to come catch it.
There are a lot of bunnies around Central Florida.
You probably see them running.
Oh,
around,
yeah,
right?
yeah. There's cattle. Remember, they're like rats.
Down here, if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
run back here next to this
Oh,
lake,
yeah, I've
it's
seen 'em.
infested.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally infested.
Because it's all these people who think they want bunnies on Easter, and then they release them in the wild. Now all those coyotes are eating them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like.
But they're endless. They're invasive too.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
invasive. Let's do this one right here.
But so cute.
All right. I was just stoned enough to think that Coca-Cola on Popeye's mac and cheese would be a good idea, and I was right. What's your most stoned food idea, and did it work out?
Most
I'll
stoned
hang up
food
and
idea?
listen.
So is DeBerry Joe saying that he poured Coca-Cola on Popeye's mac and cheese and it tasted good?
No, he's saying it tasted bad. He said he thought it was.
Oh,
a good
okay.
idea.
I misunderstood how he was saying that. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I
well,
do have
that's
a vivid
sign of depression.
I have a vivid memory of this. I remember fourth or fifth time I got stoned at my buddy David Smith's house. And I remember walking into his kitchen, and his mom had a badass, all white European style kitchen before it was trendy, because she was that lady. And I remember getting down a tortilla, cream cheese, and ham.
Oh, great.
And I put the cream cheese all over the tortilla, and I laid all the ham in there, and I rolled it up, and I remember eating that. And I'd never had it before, and I remember thinking, "This is an amazing. This is gonna."
It's a pinwheel.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I make that for my sons for lunch.
Oh God! But it was I had never had anything
That's
like
the
that.
weirdest thing you've had.
Yeah,
when
I
you're
thought
stoned?
I invented it. I was like, I'm a god. Look at this. I'm a chef. I'm Michelin star.
All right.
Yeah.
The good thing about marijuana is that it'll make everything taste good. So
it can, yeah.
So it's your one time to eat healthy.
Yeah.
Because then it makes healthy food taste good.
Oh.
Yeah,
you
it
can eat
does.
celery with
Yeah.
low fat fucking
Is that
dip.
what you're eating when you're stoned?
Well, I found that if like I'm not eating a goddamn cheesesteak because then I'm fucking getting.
But it's good. It's good as fuck.
No. But what I'm saying, like,
bad for you.
You don't want your colon to feel bad when you're smoking.
It's more of it's just
to weigh you down.
The indigestion and because usually you're stoned at night.
So carrots and ranch.
Well, I'm just saying.
What's the weirdest shit you've ever eaten stoned, Tom?
I see.
What is it? Tell us.
Well, that would have been probably when he was like fatter, Tom, and I bet you could get into some candy combos, because I can, man.
Right?
I'm not a candy guy.
No, weird things on sandwiches, leftovers mixed in with other leftovers.
God, if I get really high, I can eat like a spoonful of fucking sugar, dude, like out of the bowl, like a psycho.
Just sugar?
Yeah, like you go in there and you get like a little spoon of sugar.
We used to do that with Kool-Aid and sugar. We called it Lick-a-Made.
Yeah, Lick-a-Made's great.
Yeah, I ate so much one day I went out back to take a piss and a hummingbird flew up to my dick. And my dad saw out the window because we used to go. He didn't want to know what I was doing. He saw me peeing.
Why'd you let that hummingbird blow you?
Why'd you let that hummingbird touch your dick? It's called bestiality.
It's so much fucking sugar content in your urine. The hummingbird smell it.
We used to have jars of sugar and Kool-Aid. We just lick it. You just like pour it all in your mouth. It was so good. And your mouth was just stained. Our teachers had to ban it because we'd just be sitting in the back of class. Everybody just
like a bunch of crack addicts, man. That's awesome.
I am using my Instant Pot a little too much when I'm stoned, and it'll be like a Puttanesca kind of thing. Like, what is in my fridge? I'm gonna combine leftovers in this Instant Pot and make something weird.
It's like a crock pot, right? You just throw a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah, but under pressure, it's done really quick. Like you could cook rice in like 4 minutes.
And it's just you make a jambalaya, right? With
whatever
that's good.
Yeah. A gumbo, a gambo.
So Brendan,
I don't normally do that.
What's your show on tonight? Bungalow on the Bus.
We hang out with.
I saw you. No, this would be Hideaway.
That was last week.
Yeah, damn it. I actually saw him and Bus out at, where were you at?
Cups and Pups.
Yeah.
It's a new coffee shop in College Park.
I saw him sitting out there.
With his mama.
Yeah, we screamed at you from the car. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that you said my name. Yeah. And John had his vaccine suit. He didn't know.
I was bullying Bus Decker.
And it made me look really good in front of John's mom.
It did. Yeah. I mean, Bus Decker bullies Tom, so I guess
he is a bully.
He is.
John Bustecker.
Yeah, he can be.
Do not let him get away with shit.
Yeah, he can be a very bully. But yeah, what's tonight's show?
Great question. We hang out at the new Hideaway bar with Chip, the owner. Talk some shit about what's happening downtown. And then there's also an interview with the owners of Zymerium Meadery.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and Jeff from the Science Center, because they're doing the Science on Tap in January.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Get those early
so we
seats.
did a little promo with you.
Yeah, early tickets right now. You can get those,
Zymerium's going to be there selling mead. And if you don't know what mead is, it's the shit that Hercules and Xena used to drink.
Yeah, honey-based liquor that'll blow your shoes off.
Yeah, they're doing a coquito one that we got to try, and it is amazing.
Yeah,
coquito mead. What?
You could buy early tickets for Science on Tap now. It's a good Christmas present.
Oh, it's a good idea. Yeah, really good.
That's a great event. There's never tons of people, and it always kind of feels like
it's a pretty event,
a real radio, like staff party.
Yeah, it's because
we're all there.
It's a pretty event.
Yeah,
it
is a pretty event. Because you're in Lock Haven Park, which is gorgeous. That first year was freezing.
I think last year, didn't we do announcements last year?
No.
Well, maybe, yeah.
I don't think you worked it.
I think we went up there.
Well, they asked
That's when Sabrina gave away the Kia that we weren't supposed to give away.
No, yeah. I laughed at that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
She fucked it up.
She's like, we're going to give away a car. And I'm like, we're not giving away a car.
I'm like, she pulled a Tom fan and she started saying shit. She weren't paying attention.
She did. Like, both of us were like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
And then when we heard it, we're like, oh, my God, she did what we do.
I want her and Ross's job at the soccer games. I know you guys used to do it.
Do you want me to put in a good word?
Yeah, I want
do you want me to have them fired?
Yeah, fire them both.
I'll put in a call.
I wanted that job. You don't want that job.
It's a hard job.
They offered me
that's a hard job.
The girls' team. They offered me that as Brenda. They wanted me to come as Brenda.
Oh, no, really?
Great. Yeah, and do it there. And I was like, it sounds funny now, but you'd get shut down. You can't have a drag queen at a sporting event.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Also, some of those girls voted for Trump.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what makes them good soccer players.
I know which ones. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Check the Latin numbers. Check the Latin numbers.
Trump supporters, if they think you're funny, they will tip you better than anybody else. If you get
absolutely.
them laughing, yeah.
I may or may not have seen that happen down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
At a
yeah.
local brewery.
Yeah. May or may not have.
Uh-huh.
Or probably
They
did
love
allegedly.
it. They want you to tease them a little bit, make fun of how many boats they own. And,
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get out of here.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I'm sorry about my voice, y'all. It sounds like a hunk of shit.
Check out Bungalow on the Bus tonight on Rural Radio.
Yeah.
And always follow Brendan O'Connor.
Yeah.
Because he's always up to fun things and doing fun things, and he's a
Oh,
man about town.
I'll be at grandma party this Sunday. Well, Brenda's going to be there in a judging a grandma fashion show at the Grandma Party Bazaar at Stardust, which is the coolest market of the year. It's been my favorite market forever. It's super weird. They have punk music all day. You should come check it out.
I love it.
Awesome.
Also support John Bustecker. He does a lot for Mo, and even though he is a bully, I love him, and you should support him. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
he's all right.
Speaking of Mo, we'll see some of you guys out at Mo's Christmas party at Gatorland this Sunday.
Yes.
It is all the RSVPs are sold out.
Yeah.
But
I forgot that Sunday too.
Yeah, you're gonna be out there.
Yeah, I think I have to do both.
Yeah, I'm bringing. I think I'm bringing the family.
I'm gonna have to be using Brenda at Gatorland.
Oh, that's cool.
Right, if I'm gonna do both.
Yeah. Have a gator bite your titties. That'd be awesome, right?
Crystal reminded me of the last time we were at Gatorland, and she's like, you
No.
I didn't even remember. She's like, for my 30th birthday, you brought me zip lining at Gatorland, and you rented a Camaro. And I was like, oh, what? And she's like,
Hold on a second.
you rented a Camaro. We drove a Camaro to Gatorland, and you took me zip lining. And she's like, we showed up late, and we had to apologize. Everybody was waiting for you, for all of us.
Sorry, I was doing donuts in my Camaro.
And I was like, God damn.
Oh my God, you just
Did she like it though? Was it romantic?
they fucked
No,
with
she
that
said that.
Camaro.
She's like,
I think
oh,
it sounds romantic.
I told her, for your 30th birthday, I rented a Camaro. I took you ziplining and Gatorland.
You just made me snort.
God damn, Fat Tom Van was more fun.
Dude, that's some Homer Simpson shit if I've ever heard it. You rented a fucking Camaro. What color? Yellow?
That was black with a racing stripe.
Orange.
With a red racing stripe.
Red,
All right. Anyway.
Oh,
all
shit.
right.
Oh, my God, I'm going to pass out.
You find it on my timeline on Facebook. It's 12 years ago,
Somebody
13
find
years
that
ago.
and send it to me. All right.
All right.